れか。せーの。My cabbages! Low, low, man. Ah, my cabbages!
You are coping the season. You just can't believe what you see.
I muted myself. Yes, one more time. Legal Mindset, Andrew Esquire. We teach you to be your own judge. Scuffed and late. Wow, I really played into it today. I really did it today, guys. Self-owned today, very, very hard. I told you guys. I told you. My streaming software hates me today. It hates me today. I do have a new clip. I do have two new clips. Well, that one I showed you is actually new. And then I have one more, but I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for when I go insane. I'm going to save it. Cryptosite. Suyaneko says objection. Leighton K was not an option in the poll. There was scuff, though. There was scuff. It's both, actually. Reverend Norris says hi ho, hi ho. Off to the cabbage patch we go. Cheers, cheers. So we're going to kind of round out the week here. What I'm going to have today is actually, we're going to go through the second part 2 Atozi video. And there's 2 more videos that I haven't shown on my channel. One of them is Johnny, and this one is really circulating in Korean media. I've seen it on several Korean websites. The Korean YouTube channels are covering it. They're really not liking this particular video, this clip that he put out. They're really not liking this. So we're going to show that today. This is something where, he's essentially saying he's a bastion of evil, and he's going to go out and create anarchy and do all this crazy stuff, and he doesn't give a damn about the trial or anything else. So we're going to play that because that is going over real well for a person that is in the middle of a criminal trial and who has already pled guilty, so isn't effectively a convicted criminal already in Korea. And there's actually some new information that it kind of came out recently about another thing we now know because Johnny's an idiot. And of information he revealed that he owes even more money already. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later today. And then also we're going to show a little bit of the clips of the people that Johnny wanted to join. There's one clip in particular, and it's from one of his mentors that got him into this and shows what they're doing in Korea and how he wishes he was out there doing the exact same thing with them. And we'll talk about that as well. But it's good to see everybody here today. Thank you all for being here. Rigo says, Leighton K, we the members of the chat, after considering your insanity plea, hereby revoked your base status, Andrew. May God have mercy on your soul. Okay, Rigo, because you did me like that, I'm gonna use the new clip on you. This is the new like can Ramsey use the insanity plea? This is the response.
Oh hell no. Oh hell no. Oh hell no. Oh hell no. Oh, hell no.
Mind you, that is Ramsey sniffing Hank's love rag. Yeah. I'll just let you guys sit with that. Okay. I don't think I'm muted anymore. I think my volume is good. Yeah, good volume now. Good volume. Okay, good. Rigos is worth it. Yeah, it is disgusting. It's very, very disgusting. It is foul. A good volume. Okay, thank you. Cool. Volume's fine. Cool. All right. Yeah, there's so much wrong. There's so much not going on upstairs with RKI, Ramsey, Khalid, Ismail. Some people actually, somebody in the chat asked, why don't I call him Johnny Salami? Number one, I didn't come up with that. I think it was somebody else. Also, in my opinion, Salami is too cute. Salami is too adorable. I like salami. Right, salami is delicious. You know, you get a nice charcuterie board. You know, salami can be all right. But there's nothing appetizing or cute about Johnny Somali or his content. And he really hates his name, Ramsey Khalid Ismail. So we're going to continue to use that anytime I can when I speak about him. Of course, the algorithm, you know, and the mystical powers of the algorithm, like the title Johnny Somali, but we say the real name here. We speak the Voldemort name. Residualist, thank you for the 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Appreciate that. And then Platty, who not only became a new member, which is very based, but also comes and drops 10 Legal Mindset memberships. So for Platty, Residualist, thank you so much. Deeply appreciate that. And of course, as always, we know Ramsey sees those and he gets big.
Emotional damage.
Is definitely hurting with that. Spicy Caesar says, how much of the size tank of copium in South Korea? We wouldn't want Ismail to run out anytime soon. He's going to have to borrow money from Hank to buy the copium and also to pay back his fines because he's already been hit with more than he estimated. Call Me Katie said, late and insane on Legal Stuff said. Thank you, Call Me Katie. Rare and Recruit says, watch some WW Pro. Reminded me of first finding through them. Yeah, I started doing a lot of, I did a lot of Disney coverage. It wasn't how I started. It was kind of a bridge between some of my later coverage and, you know, before the Sarah Boone trial and kind of after I'd covered Depp versus Heard and other things that were going on before the saga of the Coke Pope of LawTube. So that was kind of a little bridge content, but I still love covering Disney content. And if there's something to cover in terms of lawsuits, I will cover it. But the main lawsuits I was interested in have mostly settled. The only one out there is Gina Carano. Would be cool if you collab with them again and caught them up in recent Ventures of Lawman. Yeah, if we have something to talk about in common, I'm happy to collaborate. I have no problem with them. I just don't have something to talk about every week on Disney, unlike them who follow stuff like, you know, ride updates and stuff, which there's only so much to say about that and none of it's legal. So, but I have no problem with people. And once again, that's the thing about legal coverage. You kind of will drift into these circles where you'll be really relevant covering cases. And then once the case ends, you know, I go off on my merry way, you know, like the Ronin, you know, wandering from village to village, you know, okay, we killed the bandits. So we're going to go over here now. And the village keeps going on. And hopefully the village is very prosperous and grows and, you know, and does well. Dennis Keir says news article saying they'll only get deported. You're taking no, that's not what the news article said. So there was a Korean professor who said, oh, he's going to get deported, but he said repeatedly in that article, if you read it carefully, he says after prison time. Nobody has ever said, oh, he's only going to get deported, he's not going to get, and nothing's going to happen to him. No source has said that. In fact, if you read closely, they can even say that, you know, the punishment should be severe. And in fact, what you saw from a Korean professor who was calling for the maximum, most aggressive punishment, bloggers and Korean YouTubers are calling for the most aggressive punishment. So by and large, people are saying it's aggressive punishment. Now, the Korean lawyers are a little bit more careful about speaking about the current charges and guessing. You will never get them to say, okay, well, this is exactly how much my guess is in time you're going to get in court on the record, right? It's going to be very difficult to get them on the record saying that. But the ones I've spoken to behind the scenes all seem to think he's going to get some sort of jail time. So I haven't met somebody that is a Korean lawyer that's spoken to me off the record that has said, hey, there's going to be no jail time here based on the current circumstances. Gamer Crum for 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. And then Sitsutar Luchai, thank you so much, Kopkun Kap, for that this lovely evening here in Bangkok, Thailand. Thank you so much. I deeply appreciate you guys. Yes. Zero Max, lots of emotional cabbage and lots of salamis. Exactly. Nylon Python says, are you going to debate him? He said, I'll talk to you. No, hell no. Once again, all of these people, Ramsey and his friends, his allies, who want to debate me or talk to me, there's nothing to debate. The debate is in court. There's nothing to prove. He can go to court and he can make his case in court. Whether or not, like, what do I have to say to him? Just to yell and to shout? And for all those people, that's their type of content. They profit and kind of their ecosystem is just yell and shout and defame and say nasty things about each other. There's no debate with him. And in fact, with Ramsey, there's only lies. And in fact, almost everything that we've come to see about his statements, such as, and we're going to go over them today, such as him getting a $500 fine and walking. Well, we actually already know that's false. He's already paid more than $500 or owes more than $500. We're going to get into that. But everything he said has been not true. Hasn't been, was not able to stream in the court. Although one of the videos he says, "Oh, I have a recording in the court." If he does, that would be super illegal. But I highly doubt it. We were watching him. He didn't have any phone out or anything else like that. If he had it on and record in his pocket, it would just pick up what we said. But even if he had that, that is illegal. That would be contempt of court, and that would be a pretty severe punishment if that did come out. Masrova Palma for 100 Czech krona says, "Sieve indeed." David Miller says, "Johnny Salami stars a new agricultural simulation game for N64, Femboy Farmstead." Hank is definitely playing that one. Michael Rule says, "Rotten Mango is where I heard of Johnny Salami." Yeah, Rotten Mango used it, and one other creator used it. But I think Rotten Mango is bigger in terms of viewers. So I just think it's too cute. It's too cute. Superstar Luchai for 200 Thai pot. Songroy says for the super chat goal. Thank you so much. Volt for 99 says, "Legal Minds, any chance we'll get the assholes who said those things to Rima?" It's off topic. Yeah, it is off topic, so I'm not going to go into it. But Rima was like death threatened because she brought me on and I covered a corrupt corporation, actually, ironically, a Korean VTuber corporation, and I exposed their machinations, and people decided to say that she should be deleted. Right, which is unhinged, and it's on the level of the Ramsey fans and these IRL streamer fans that are that level of unhinged as well, because they end up saying very similar things about people and getting into pretty nasty defamation and pretty nasty comments about people. It is really crazy. It is actually insane. Crystal Cat's a who debated toddler, exactly, and that goes for all of them. Frosty WCY, let him see exactly. I am high as a new member. Welcome. Chaos Smash's Legal Mindset thinks he's Rurouni Kenshin, not femboy enough. I like Rurouni Kenshin's all right. It's pretty good. Guy Vin Young says, "I miss your stream. Away to China next week." Oh, well, hope you enjoy your trip. Be safe. Enjoy it. Have fun. Safe travels. There's a lot of fun stuff to do. Gamercrom09 says, "We must protect our best horse girl." Yeah, Rima will be fine. She messaged me behind. She's tough. Tastic says, "Did you see the missed video? Ramsey a panic button." I did see there's a comment about him having a device that's a panic button. So there was a video where Ramsey says, "I have a device that if I press it, the police will be here soon." He has no such device. You know what his device is called? Hank or Han Jong-yu. Hank calls the police at a moment's notice. In all of Johnny's streams, Hank will call, and afterwards, and we've seen this historically, Hank is the button. So he presses Hank, and Hank calls the police. So he pretty much texts Hank, and Hank calls the police. So Hank will call the police if a fly looks at him weird. He is an absolute coward. He threatens people to fights. He says he's going to fight people, and then he runs away, or says he won't do it, or says, oh, they're just going to use it for popularity, as if he's anybody important. So yeah, his device is Hank. And once again, Johnny's lied about everything consistently. So why would you start believing what Johnny says now? It's kind of ridiculous. So yeah, that's the true button he has from the police. Yeah, Hank has it's not 911, it's 119. Remember, it's Korea. So he's got them on speed dial because unfortunately, and this is very unfortunate, and I do not support this, his location was doxed by Johnny because Johnny decided to flash the papers in Korean, and he should have understood because there were numbers on there, and they were like, obviously apartment numbers. He doxed himself by doing that, and he kept trying to say, "Oh, well, they're wrong. I have the charges. I have everything," and he didn't even know what charges he was flashing ahead, and he didn't also realize that your address is on there. So he doxed himself, which is unfortunate. Once again, I don't support doxing, but the idiot does it to himself, which is really dumb, extremely dumb. And hopefully, he pulled that stream or whatever, but it got out there. Wingus McDingus on the party platform. Brendan Schlub is taking a YouTuber to court. Will you look into that? Thank you, Bean and Cheese, Cheese Zinga Nation. okay. I don't know who the hell that is, but if you send me an article or send something on my email, I'll take a look. Maybe it'll be for one of my multi-topic streams. I'm willing to look at it. No Name says, we're the resistance against nuisance streamers. Guys, I was out with a client here in Bangkok, and they didn't know about me till just this week. And they were like, hey, I really respect what you're doing against nuisance streamers in Asia. And I'm like, yeah, it's a problem for us. And I'm like, I'm glad you like my content. He didn't know about that at all. He didn't know about my Johnny Somali stuff till recently. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's a problem, especially for people that live here and respect the laws. We have to go through rigorous immigration checks, you know, because we're here long term, whether you're on a retirement visa, business visa, student visa, you know, whatever you're doing, teaching, whatever, in Korea, Japan, Thailand, wherever. And we respect the culture, we respect the place we're at, and then people wander in here and they make everybody look bad. It's really a shame. Spicy Caesar says, Hank has a panic button. Do you know where it is? What happens if you tickle it gently? I'm sure you can imagine, based on Hank's proclivities, where he stores it. JMGC Gaperla says, legal mindset and Atozi earn more from Salami than Salami himself. Oh yeah, by far. Not only that, but think about the whole ecosystem of creators. Everybody has done a video on this. Asmongold, Moist Critical, Penguin Zero. Like everybody's done a video on this. Aben Preach, everybody. So all the creators have commented on this. My friend Yellow Flash, Hiro Hey, you know, Mujin, like everybody's done a video on Johnny Somali. So he's not just empowered one person, it's been everybody. Now a lot of them rely on my coverage and my kind of on the street news here, but that said, it's good, and I support every channel that does it. I will say though, and somebody mentioned one earlier, do be careful with the AI channels, because the AI channels just take information and they don't process it or synthesize it or think critically about it. And a lot of times they're saying things that aren't true. And there's a lot of articles that they're basing their information on that are not accurate because the reporters forgot a detail or they messed something up. And that can happen, but then misinformation spreads and gets out there. So be very careful with your information. Akami with 50 legal mindset memberships. Let's play the special clip. I do like that one. Thank you to Ava, my VTuber friend, for making that one. That's a very fun one. Thank you for the memberships as well. Really helps out. And if you receive a gift membership, please make sure to say thank you. Tatsumi says, hey, presses the London language. Hold on, I need a moment.
No. Wait.
Oh God. Okay. My chat always kills me. I love you guys, but I hate you at the same time. Gertrude's Diddy says, I need a lawyer. Can you help me? Probably not. Call a local lawyer wherever you are. If you have a problem and it's urgent, it's a legal issue, find somebody in your jurisdiction who's there, who lives there, call them, right? I'm not your lawyer. Read the description. I'm not your lawyer. Vigard for 50 Norwegian kroner says, what happens if Archive pleads not guilty on the new charge that happens in court? Oh, that's fine too. Whatever he does, he's screwed. It doesn't matter at this point. We've got him, boys. If he goes not guilty, that's fine. If he goes guilty, that's fine. Either way, we'll be fine. Him pleading not guilty, I don't want to say what it will do, but it doesn't get him off from anything or make the punishment lighter. Spicy Caesar says, bet you good money Hank's button has a pulse mode. Oh no. Chaos Specialist does Hank vibrate when he presses the button. Duncan Adams says he's gonna get a slap on the wrist, you guys. All he has to do is plead insanity. Okay, we got to play the insanity clip one more time.
Oh hell no.
I'm sniffing Hank's love rag. That's what we got there. Any chance Johnny Smiley chooses to do a blaze of glory? No, he's a coward. Kurtball says missed the start. Has he pled insanity yet? No, but I might. Mercenary says, morning, sneaking super chats behind my boss at work. That is hold on. Sneaking super chats behind your boss at work. We've got a clip for that.
Hello, beso department.
Probably the most base thing I've heard all day. Dennis Gear says status on Ice and Crew. We'll give you an update today. There's a little bit of an update today. I'll talk about that. And I've talked to some people. Anthony says for 10, I do love that Arkai has made other YouTubers more money than he will ever earn. Cope and seethe, harder little manlet. Oh, obligatory insanity plea joke. I'll get 3 more and then we're just going to gun this. Fopa X says Hank will need to find another partner in the femme persuasion for his hanky-panky business soon. Also, is the judge influenced by the press reaction? The judge is not influenced by the press, but he certainly has seen it. Let me put it this way. Remember that clip where Ramsey makes fun of the judge and Ramsey says, I didn't understand the judge because he was speaking this, gobbledygook language, and he uses a racial slur as well. The judge definitely saw that, because think about this. The judge is probably in his 40s or 50s. So he's not like total, like he's never seen a cell phone before, but he's probably not terminally on the internet. But you know what they have usually? A daughter, a son, or a niece, or a nephew, or somebody that's on the internet and has seen this. And the Korean media has seen those clips and has put those out there in Korean. So there's no doubt, there's zero doubt in my mind that he has seen that clip, and that the bailiff has probably already seen that clip as well. Natalie Braithwaite, sorry if I got that wrong. 5 pounds. Says, loved your content on Rittenhouse. Oh, thank you so much. Can you pour one out for my brother? He died from a heart attack this morning. I'm so sorry for that. So I do apologize. I don't have any drinks right now, but later after the stream, I will definitely pour one out for your brother. I'm very sorry to hear that. 7-Armed God says, I hope the other nuisance streamers haven't been too bad. People have suffered enough with Johnny. It's true. It's true. Asian Drax says, no one likes a dox because those ones that get revealed in the internet, your identity is over. It's like a virus to be with you forever. Yeah, it can be a big problem. It can be a really big problem. For the nuisance streamers, of course, they kind of walk into that problem and kind of court that because they're always doxing each other. They're all kind of attacking each other at all times. But that said, even then, you shouldn't promote it, and it's also against TOS on pretty much every platform. Although the platforms that the nuisance streamers tend to be on, like Kick and Party, don't enforce their TOS really. So their TOS are like recommendations. Game Guild for 2 says, GoFundMe for Johnny's South Korean prison fund. That'd be fun. Also, Derp says, 9-month member. Thanks for going hard on RK. My pleasure. All right, we'll get 3 more and we'll start here. Clotho says, plop, plop, get super. Thank you. Kagakisa says, there seems to be a spoof account. Yeah, there's a lot of, so I don't give a shit about it. If you see any bad accounts anywhere, just report them. It's just, that's what it is. Johnny's people are stupid. They try to do dumb shit. It doesn't really rattle me. It just gets reported and banned. So it is what it is. People always do crazy shit on the internet. Mike D says for 10, how do you think that the U.S. State Department is on it? Do you think he sat down with the U.S. diplomat? If so, what do you think they say to Johnny? I don't think so. No, he's not that important, guys. And this is the whole thing with the embassy theories and all the other, he's going to get out. It's not going to happen. He's not some high profile prisoner. He is a petty criminal in Korea who's going to be put in for, these crimes that he brought upon himself. He didn't get locked up. He's not sympathetic. He didn't get locked up because of, he was trying to speak out for the rights of migrant Kurdish people, right? This isn't something where he got, jailed because he was out there campaigning for Trump or something like that. No, he got jailed because of his own idiocy and his campaign of terror really across Seoul. Also, Anthony for 10 said, will the judge accept your insanity plea? Okay, I'll play it one more time and then we're gonna roll here.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. It's not happening. Crowd site Sioneko says, pick my poison. Kahlua and Bailey's fruity purple vodka or butterscotch schnapps. Kahlua Bailey's sounds good, actually. Also, I'll answer this one. This is a good one. How is he streaming the tourist visa? It's illegal. He's doing it anyways. So he actually might be on a litigation visa. I'm not sure whether he actually did the work to change it, but he's breaking that rule as well. So that's another facet there. And with the visa breaking, a lot of that, if it doesn't hit you immediately, it hits you when you leave the country. So if it doesn't happen right away, it may be something where before he leaves, he's got to pay this fine that he's violated, right? And these things can stack up. So yeah. All right, let's get into it. So this is the clip. I want to show you guys this clip. This is the one that's been circulating all around the Korean internet. It's been really pissing people off, let's say. So I'm going to let you guys watch the whole thing and then I'll comment on it.
If y'all give me the support and the donations and the love, the power chats, the crypto donation, nigga, I'm ready, bro. If y'all want chaos, let me be your conduit. Let me be your bastion of the evil.
There's the quote. There's the bastion of evil quote. That's what I think a lot of people are going on, is that, that's what, and to be very fair, and this is the point, I'm going to pause that. I'll play the rest. But to be very fair, that's what his chat wants him to do. They want him to go out there and do crazy, wild stuff. They want him to get arrested. They want him to get hurt. They want him to get pepper sprayed. They want to get beat. They want him to get punched. His chat wants that, right? They want that. The very few supporters, the 40 people in Hank that are still backing him, they are trying to put him in dangerous situations. And that's why he has adopted this role, because he has gotten into so deep into his chat that that's all he's got is this persona, which, by the way, is a tough guy act, because he doesn't actually go out and do any of the things he says. He says he's going to go out and IRL stream. He says he's going to go confront Ice Poseidon and the whole group in Korea. He hasn't done any of that, right? It's talk tough, but don't actually do it.
If you want to see anarchy, if you're an anarchist and you want somebody that is going to crash out with no remorse, with no sense of self-worth, with no sense of self-preservation, I will be your man. I'm building up the Johnny Somali pirates, this pirate gang from the beginning. And every nigga in here right now is going to be a witness to what we're going to create.
Yeah.
By the way, it's like all 10 people, it's like, because he does a lot of botted views on his party count, but it's like actually like 10, 20 people.
Only one, yeah? Can I get a yeah?
Yeah. Hopefully she goes straight.
I'm ready to crash out in the streets and die for you niggas, bro. I have body scars. I got scars. Niggas sliced my fucking forehead when I was in Israel. I got battle scars from you niggas. And I still pushing P. I'm still... What?
So still ready to get out there and be that bastion of evil, chaos. There's some language in there that can also imply he's going to, engage in incitement, all the other stuff. Media is not too happy about that you're in the middle of a trial. You've got these charges against you, the Korean media, and you're saying you're going to go out there and still be this person. It's kind of crazy. JH, welcome as a new member. Earham said, well, you're a professor now, would be summoned as witness. Probably not, but if I needed to, I will be. I'm willing to do it if I'm needed, but probably not needed. Purple Spark Alice says for 20 Canadian. I think you might have mentioned that once RKI can't use an insanity plea, he can use the moron plea, judge him a moron and sort of leniency. No one says that in Korea. That's not a real thing. Proxy 4818 says for 10. I've been wanting to ask this for a while, but is Ramsey even aware that the West hates him as much as Korea? Yes. Actually, one of his actual quotes was he is more afraid of Westerners, because the thing is about a lot of his content and what he does is it takes time for it to be translated. So the Korean side or the Japanese side or the Israeli side, wherever he was, Israel, let's remove Israel, but let's say Japan and Korea. Let's speak for those two. They're not getting the translated version till like a week later. And by then, especially in the world of nuisance streamers, they've moved to a new city, they've moved to a new thing, right? So it's lags, but only because he's stuck in Korea, he kind of is screwed. And especially because in Korea, the trials are spaced out. And because they're spaced out 1 month apart, there's plenty of time for the Korean media and for YouTube channels and everywhere else, blogs, Naver, Kakao, to translate what he says and get that out, which is a big service to everybody, because they're able to find out about this, because, otherwise he would be gone by now, right? He would have left if he wasn't travel banned, if he didn't have charges. And that's how a lot of the nuisance streamers get away with things, is because it takes a while for this stuff to get into the media. It doesn't go as fast as the internet. So we see it way before anybody sees it on the media. We see clips. They're still watching clips from the, post-trial, right, which happened last week, which happened approximately a week ago. So that's kind of how the speed goes. It's not, I would say, in the case of Ramsey, it's getting faster because people are really paying attention to him. But with most nuisance streamers, it takes a while to cover them, which is how they've fallen in this gap. Rick says the guy thinks he's Lelouch v. Britannia. He has not, he is nowhere near Lelouch. That is way too much main character energy for him. Way too much. Let me get these yellow chats because we hit the goal. So I want to thank everybody who helped me hit the goal there of maximum seething for Ramsey. Thank you guys for hitting that goal. So we'll get the yellows, then we'll move on. Mephitic Miasma said, Donald Trump. I've never heard of Johnny Salami. Person? You? Baron? Yes. Let him rot. Yeah, Baron definitely knows the internet better. Michael Turner for 10 says, Ramsey reminds me a little bit of a Kids in the Hall skit where one guy challenges a large guy at a bar and fights him and keeps losing. Towards the end, everyone is telling him, stay down. He can't stay down. He can't shut up. It's impossible. Dan Ludy said, imagine being so evil, unite the world to hate you. Did he just solve racism in politics? Yes. Yes. It's a really uniting thing. I love the topic because I can speak about everybody, left, right, center, Korea, Japan, America, Thailand, Philippines, Africa, Europe. Everybody hates this dude, which is a beautiful thing. I am high. Love from Hong Kong. Appreciate that. Just come here to find out how Ramsey will suffer more for stupidity. Yeah, exactly. And once again, he could choose to enjoy these countries. I'm going to enjoy when we're going to watch a Tosi's video. And we will do that at 1.25 speed because it is a little bit longer, but I want to make sure we get through it in a timely manner. When Atosi was out here, he took time to appreciate Korea, to talk to Koreans, to talk to some of my Korean friends, to talk to other people, expats over here. He had a chance to actually experience like a good, fun side of Korea. It's a great place to be. Same with Japan, same with lots of Asia and the world. There's so much good to do in these places and so much to enjoy, but they feel that the only type of content for them is being a nuisance. Ryobi says, I wonder who will take the crown for delusional, RKI or Steven Seagal? Before the brag things they never did and act untouchable only to back down when reality smacks them. Yeah, and it's a tough guy act. It's all a tough guy act. Asian Drag says, which one is stronger, news media or social media? Because getting, like Gator said yesterday, the nuisance streamers causing so much damage was going to be the goal. I think for Westerners, social media is more. For the traditional Korea, traditional Japan, still news media is very powerful. So mainstream media outlets are there. That's why the fact that they were all in the courtroom is a big thing. Okay, some jokes here. I'll get this one here. Rigo says, I don't think it's activated by clinching. It may function more like a dead man switch because he sold himself due to confrontation. Opie says, Ramsey says, I'm willing to delete for content. Yeah. Let's see. And then last year we got Lisa saying for 10, I have a question. Are sentences served one after another, or is there credit for time served? No, there's no time served. First of all, he hasn't served any time. He's not in jail. So time served doesn't apply here. Apologies, it's been answered. You missed it. No, you're fine. I just want to make it very clear. He's out and about. And even if he was detained before trial, there's no time served. It's when your sentence starts, it starts. And if there's more than one, you got to serve them back to back. It's not concurrent. Andreas says, can you give me a quick update since last stream? Just pay attention, bro. Terry Love for 10 says, my bet is that Somali pirate groups hate him for giving them worst name. He's not actually Somali, which is the real thing they don't like. All right. So Atosi had a second part two. Had a part two video. So I wanted to go through that. I really enjoyed going through the first one. I'm going to try to go through as fast as we can. And if it just is, if there's a part where he explains it, all right, I will. But there's a lot of background here that I want you guys to get. So let me play this out for you guys. And once again, shout out to him. I'll tag him in the description. It was great to meet him over here in Korea and help him with this.
Streamer's in complete denial that he ruined his own life. I mean, it's so bad that he doesn't even understand the world of trouble he's actually in. Things have just got so bad for this.
Actually, I think I'll say this. I think he actually he is starting to understand, but he's boxed in to this persona, so he can't back out of it.
Guy that he is now promising to go back to harassing people in public while his trial is ongoing because he no longer cares, I guess.
If y'all want chaos, let me be your conduit. Let me be your bastion of the evil. If you want to see anarchy, if you're an anarchist and you want somebody that is going to crash out with no remorse, with no sense of self-worth, with no sense of self-preservation, I will be your man.
As if you think he couldn't do anything.
It clearly has. That part is true. He has no sense of self-preservation because he's digging himself deeper. By the way, Dalton asked for $9.99. Are Koreans still hunting RKI, or did they stop and let the court handle? They are not. There's no need to hunt him. First of all, he doxed himself on stream, so everybody knows where he is, and we all know he's staying with Hank. It's a fact. And beyond that, the court is now handling it. There's no reason for any Korean to go after him, attack him, punch him, do anything like that. The court and the police have handled it, and it will handle itself in court. And there's no need for any of that. Also making me laugh with a 40K reference. Thank you, Resilius. Says if RK was in 40K, he'd be deleted for cowardice. Also, you can call me Rez if it's easier. Okay, cool, Rez. Yeah, the commissars would have taken care of him. If you guys know 40K, a commissar Kane or Gaunt would have, taken him out back by now. Let's continue.
Dumber doing this during his ongoing criminal trial. He surprises us yet again. So obviously, we're talking about the IRL streamer Johnny Somali, who's recently been held in Korea for months after streaming himself commit multiple felonies in Korea for donations and attention. This has obviously backfired a bunch against him because he's his own star witness against himself. Currently, he's facing several charges, some of which he's already pleaded guilty to, which I've already covered here on this channel since I flew out to South Korea for his trial. And going into that trial, I don't know why, but I thought just maybe he would be respectful and played a little bit smart for, a better shot at a lighter sentence.
And that's, by the way, what everybody thought. So every person I've spoken to is shocked that he did not play the role. And the fact that he came in not playing that role is wild in Korean court. It is insane to come in and have the bravado, the attitude, the disrespect, the lateness, the hungover, not giving a fuck, saying that it's not a big deal, publicly open on a stream. This is something that's unprecedented. Probably even even in America, this would be crazy. But Korea, it's doubly crazy because of the amount of disrespect for the court it shows, which is very dispositive. Angela says Angela Eric Newman says Johnny's a nerdling. Oh God. And Michael also said Ramsey Cletus only has one speed dial, and it's Hank. Let's continue.
But I was so incredibly wrong. I mean, the dude showed up over an hour late to his own trial, still drunk, because he decided to live stream drunk just hours before he had to wake up for his early morning trial. But as you guys know from watching my previous video, the trial couldn't have gone worse for him. He made an absolute terrible impression on the judge, and he accidentally leaked new charges against himself while he was drunk the night before. And I guess, as if things couldn't get more ironic, his case number ends with 666. So I don't know if that's intentional or not, but that's a wild coincidence. But either way, he for some reason thinks the trial went great for him and that he'll only get a slap on the wrist.
You're the one who's gonna look so dumb when I don't get any jail time or anything. Bro, I'm gonna laugh like a villain. Look, I did go there and recognize all the charges. I said I was guilty. I did say all this because it's just gonna be a fine. What the? I'm just gonna pay it and leave, bro. Like you can't go to jail for this.
Actually, you can. That's the whole point. You can, and historically, people have gone to jail for this. So it's not like you can't. No, you actually can, and you will, right? So it's a thing. It's like you can, and you're putting yourself on the track where you will, right? So. It's okay, Johnny. Let's see. Once again, there's no debating this with Johnny, right? What's the debate here, right? It's like, no, just let the court play out, and we'll watch. I'll be there in the audience, with my mental popcorn, and just eating it and enjoying watching him crash and burn.
You can't, you literally cannot.
Yeah, I was there. Things really did not go his way. How does he not realize? Since he pleaded guilty to multiple charges, he will now be convicted as a felon there. And he will now be charged as a repeat offender for his next case, which is a way more serious charge. And also, every clip that we're going to watch in today's video, he will only make things infinitely worse for himself as each clip goes by. Because I keep saying this guy somehow always finds the dumbest way possible to react to every situation that he's in.
It was so funny. So it's once again, inside baseball here. Every time we'd meet up with a Tozy and it was the morning of the trial, and I'd tell him, oh yeah, Johnny got drunk last night, did this crazy stuff. The look on his face of not believing how insane this was, because you don't get stuff like this that happens. It just doesn't happen. This is so unprecedented to have court cases where people dig themselves in the night before trial. Usually it's, a week before, 2 weeks before, something like that. But it's not just the night before. He's now done it the day after. He's done it the day after that. He's continued to make statements. His people have continued to do stuff. It's been repeated since that last week.
It's like he's trying to go for a maximum sentence for all of his charges here. And the prosecutors and judge will see all of these videos here. I mean, now even the Korean media is calling for a harsh punishment for him.
This is the professor. So that real quick, that was the professor that he brought up. This is the professor that is very connected, who said we need to set an example of good punishment. When actually the literal translation is we need like an aggressive punishment. So like no slap on the wrist, aggressive punishment. That was the language of this professor. And there's more that he goes into, but people are aware and talking about it. It's not just us YouTubers or us foreigners. It is the Korean media himself and the Korean people themselves that are pissed about this. And that's a very important factor. Crimsoner said, could Korea be letting him stream so they collect the revenue later? I don't think that would be it. Once again, I don't know their in complete logic, but that said, it's not going to help him at all. Not at all. Proxy 4818 for 20 says, are you aware Ramsey blames you for nuking his YouTube channel? I wasn't even actually, by the time I started covering Ramsey, his YouTube channel was already nuked. So there's that. But that's fine. He wants to blame me for everything. That's cool. I'm cool with that. I mean, you know, that's part of their little MO is they blame everybody for everything, even when it's not their fault, and they expect you to yell and scream. I'm like, yeah, he wants to blame me, he can blame me for everything. I made him catch the common cold. You know, I'm the one that you know, that isn't cleaning up Hank's dirty laundry, you know, that Ramsey is sleeping with every night. I mean, come on. I'm the one that made it snow or rain. Al says, could his actions in other countries contribute to sentencing? He does this wherever he goes. Yes, they can consider it. Especially with, you know, whether or not they should let him off light or not. They can definitely consider it. Yes. Raven said, I can only imagine how the Johnny Somali defense lawyer must feel. They must have to defend this clown in court. Actually, I think they don't give a fuck. To be honest, he has a public defender. So I don't think that the public defender cares very much. He keeps saying it's a paid attorney. It's not. It's a free public defender. So I don't think his attorney cares that much.
So there's a lot of pressure for this guy not to walk. And of course, he's his own star witness and making everything worse for himself. As he even confirmed in this video, what we observed in the trial was true. He was indeed drunk.
Hank is saying like long live China, stuff like that, but bro, I'm slurring. I'm drunk.
This guy just consistently removes any plausible deniability from his own trial. But he did a breakdown where he talked about his side of the trial, and this is where we learned how delusional this dude really is.
I'm going to give you guys the post-trial breakdown. We have all this news right here from Korean and other sources. I want you guys to send me in the Discord right now to react.
So just real quick, guys. So Ramsey is asking you, there's like 3 different Korean reporters in there. There's another foreign reporter in there. There's about 10 of us, other than the reporters, right? Just like another 10 of us in the courtroom, me, Atozi, the professor, there's a bunch of others that were in there. All of us are incorrect and lying completely about everything that I had said. And it's only Ramsey that's telling the truth. If you believe that, I have a bridge to sell you in Atlantis, okay? I'm just saying. Oh, man. Also, while you're out there doing crazy stuff, smash a like button. Appreciate that. Gamercron says button press, tickle the pickle. Thank you. And Silbury says tips for YouTube slop content. There's a don't recommend this channel. Use that when you can. It takes time and eventually clears your algo. Cool. And Game Guild says for 2, GoFundMe for Johnny Somali prison time. Can this work? No, but I mean, obviously, like you said, if you want to support the trial team, still got the Ko-Fi up. I just, help some people out today. It's always good to, give back to everybody that's been helping. There's a team of people behind this that's been supporting and helping, and, they're very much appreciated in their support. A lot of them are behind the scenes helping put this guy away. It's a very international group, which is pretty amazing. Thanatos Felisa says, in South Korea, how long does a minor trial take if no deal? There's no plea deals, but even if he pleads guilty, it will be a couple months. So it's not something that goes fast. Let's continue.
I'm gonna give you the whole real unadulterated true story, because I have footage from the court that y'all haven't seen. I got footage from the court that y'all don't know about.
If this is true, well, first of all, I think he's full of shit, right? Second of all, if it was true, that is instant contempt of court. That would be super easy. I would love for him to show this magical footage, which doesn't exist, right? That most likely does not exist. But if it does exist, right, That's instant contempt of court. So either way, Ramsey, right? It's either bluster, which it probably is. With Ramsey, 99.9% is bluster, right? But even beyond that, if it's not, it's contempt of court. So I'm okay with that. Once again, reporting him for contempt of court. I mean, which way are you going to go here? If he did actually record something. And once again, if he recorded anything, it would just confirm what we said. Of course, that would be very much illegal, very much in contempt, pretty much directly. So yeah, I don't believe it though. I really do not believe it. Also, welcome Miss Chummy Bummy as a member, and also for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. And Boog said for 100 Mexican pesos. I just saw the AI videos defame me. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to talk too much about that. Sorry, I didn't even read it through. I don't care. And I've said this before. I'll say it again. I will not respond to anything. I don't care about people defaming me. Don't give a shit. Right. Obviously Somalis, Cabbage Squad, all those people, they're going to talk shit. Not going to stop me from covering this. There's a reason why I'm probably the only guy who can cover this, because I don't really give a damn. And I'm on this until it's over. Right. Period. End of story. Do not back down, and not afraid of a small little cabbage shrimp.
They're claiming that like I came in and I was blindsided by the fact that I had a new charge and was like sitting in the wrong place and was nervous. This was a breeze, and the only reason I'm ready to start going live again, because honestly I have no fear. Like that's really, these people are clout chasing off my name so badly. Like, look at it. I got these Packers. These are from Pakistan saying I arrived late and hungover. Okay, they're not lying about that part. I'll give you that. I was
so already making a confession there that he was drunk and hungover, which is, once again, the court's going to hear that, right? Jason, thank you for the 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Yes. Appreciate that. Also, okay, Boog, I'm reading them in order, so don't worry about that. You're saying, can I get my next one right? Don't worry, I got you. Here, since you sent 3, I'll read your other one right now. But it says, any reaction from the other nuisance streamers? They talk shit about Johnny, but they're not willing to file any police charges. And also, you said for 50. Have you seen the effects of Somali trial on the rest of the nuisance streamers? Has any chilling effect? Okay, the one effect it has had, and I will say this is the one effect it's had, and I'm going to talk about this, like, give it me a little patience, because after this video, I have a little snippet from them. How I think it's affecting the other nuisance streamers is I think it's affecting them by them not committing crimes. So what they are doing is right now they're in Korea and they're being annoying, but they're being very careful to not commit crimes. In Japan, there were some of them that were more flippant. They were a little bit more easy to commit criminal activity, etc. Right? Some of them had to flee, like DBR. Right? I think they're a little bit more careful in Korea because they know that if they do it, they're probably going to go to jail right now because the Somali trial's on. So I think they're actually fearful, and a lot of their normal stuff they do, which is a little bit more criminal, they're backing off a little bit. They're scared. They're definitely scared. There's no doubt they're scared. So yeah, doing crimes is bad. Yes, it's crazy, right? And that's the Somali effect, right? And people are paying attention to them, which is a Somali effect, right? Dustin, I'm going to answer this question. We're going to move on. Pretending for a moment he's smart enough to set this up. What are the odds he appears one day and smuggles himself out of the country? That is not happening. Cabbage Boy is not smart enough to smuggle himself out of the country. It is not happening at all. There's no way to do it. He has a hard travel ban. Korea's system is entirely electronic, and there's no country he can go to. He can't get into Japan. He's not going to go to North Korea, and China does not take random people off a fishing boat, right? And imagine if he got to China illegally. Can you even imagine what would happen? It's worse than what would happen in South Korea. I'll tell you that. If he just showed up illegally in China, yeah. Let's continue here.
Late to the court by like an hour. I was hungover.
Yeah, he isn't Carlos Ghosn, and he isn't James Bond, right? Guys, come on. He can barely manage to make it to court. He's living with Hank, right? He's not in some super secret villain hideout here.
I'm gonna be honest about that. It wasn't really that big of a deal.
Okay, everything you did in court signals to the judge that you don't care nor respect them. you're doing nothing to favor any lighter sentence for yourself. But let's hear this full truth here.
Sure.
You know, I showed up drunk. I showed up happy. Like the charges that they have me put on, the charges that they have me for are such minor, minuscule charges. It's obstruction of, like, bro, spilling a cup of noodles, carrying a fish. But they got me for like spilling a cup of noodles. They got me for carrying a stinky fish. They got me for some, bro. Like, this is, you can't go to jail for that in any country.
Yes,
but the reason I've been quiet is I didn't want to really feed the trolls. I didn't really want to feed like this.
I like how he calls, like, you know, okay, feeding the trolls. Like, yes, the national newspapers, right? The Korean Herald, right? Everybody else there, right? It's trolls, right? It's all trolls. Everybody's trolling, right? He's the only serious one. I mean, does anybody can anybody actually take that serious? That Johnny Somali is the only honest truth. He's the only truth teller, and everybody else is lying, right? Everybody else is lying, and he's the only truth teller. Of course, that's the right story.
Energy of these just lying and making up all this bullshit about me.
Okay, so why would you risk extending your sentences by acting like a complete moron? It's also everything that he's done between these charges that also goes into account for when they're choosing how harsh they're going to be during the sentencing. And it doesn't help that everything he's done basically since he was served with this criminal lawsuit has hurt him more than help him. It just seems like he's still operating like he's in the US. Like, no, most likely you wouldn't get any serious prison time for any of these antics in the US. But in South Korea, the country that's held him in limbo there for over 4 months against his will, clearly they operate differently. So why would you ever act like a moron and test your luck when you really don't have to?
Like, I cannot believe how low life you have to be to fly. And this Tozy made at least 21 videos about me. This made how many videos?
and Atozy, like, you know, he's made a lot of what Johnny is really okay. Let me translate from Johnny to English here, right? from Johnny to English, okay. Johnny is mad here because Atozy made in his videos he's made just the last, you know, let me put it this way. In Atozy's last like 5 videos have made more than Johnny's ever made in his entire career as a streamer, right? So Atozy's just like 3 videos, 5 videos, whatever, have probably made more than Johnny's made in his entire career streamer. That's one content creator. Forget about Asmongold, forget about everybody who's covered it, forget all the other big channels. And he is so salty about that. That is the ultimate thing that he gets really mad about, is when other people are successful, when other people get support, when other people have people in the chat. I have almost 7,000 people, with 6,500 right now in the chat. He cannot get 40 people. I mean, that's pushing it, right? 20, 30, 40 people for him, you know, is pushing it for actual viewers. I mean, this guy has almost nobody. And most of those guys, most of the people in the chat, you know, a lot of them are just A-logs, people that are tracking him, spies, people that don't like him, hate him, that are just lurking. And there's also people that genuinely want him to go to get hurt, get to jail, get arrested, get punched. Like, that is his audience, right? Dead the Goat is a member. Appreciate that. Sebastian Mueller for 100 Danish Kronos and Ramsey. I've got 99 problems, but insanity plea is not one. Jopie said insanity plea is a troll. How many insanity pleas are here? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get all the insanity pleas real quick. Red News says Arcaz reasoning makes me want to file an insanity plea. Canadian Korea forced them in an insane asylum. Let's see. I'm gonna go through here. Okay. Who else here? Okay, this one's kind of funny though. Mike D says after a long day of picking cabbage in South Korea, allow conjugal visits because you know Hank. Okay, that's also funny. I think that's the insanity. I think I got the insanity there. I do. You guys are killing me. And somebody asked real quick, let me answer this one. Hello, the Ryu says, except as a roommate, who is Hank? Is he a expat, South Korean fan? Why would he want to be seen with our cat? I've done an entire episode on who is Hank and what he is. You can look back at that. But the TLDR is he has a Korean passport. So he is a Korean citizen. He tried to get in the United States to dodge his service requirements. So as a Korean, you're required to go to mandatory service with the army. He's never gone, right? He was trying to get his residency, and then of course eventually after permanent residency you get citizenship. He illegally purchased firearms as well as was participating in a breaking and entering as well, but he was convicted on felony charges related to the firearm charges, and he tried to appeal those all the way to the Supreme Court. He has been denied at every level. There's no possibility he will win his appeal. His permanent residency has been revoked. He pretty much has no future in the United States. He cannot go back. And so now he's looking to the CCP, to Communist China, as his refuge, because he is, of course, in his own words, a free speech advocate. So he thinks that China is a great place for him to go as a free speech advocate. Solon says, since when is Cabbage Khalid the adult in the room? And Sir Guard says he essentially Al Caponed himself by pleading guilty. How does he not see it? I know. Ancient Dragon also said it would be like North Korean defector trying to escape North Korea, and the pathway to Mongolia is to go through China. RK, I would like to see you do that Naomi Park experience. Yeah, that was bad. And I know Naomi Park is a little controversial. Some people say that some details of her story don't add up. But, I mean, there's a lot of people that went through similar stories of what she went through, you know, getting smuggled out into North Korea, you know, gangsters beat up, sexually assaulted. Like, there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on with North Korean defectors. Somali has no bravery to go through any of that. He is a coward.
Johnny Somali, he's over. 99 years, he's done. Like, I don't know how people still keep following for
Nobody said 99 years. See, this is the straw man he tries to bring up, is that it's 99 years. It's like, no, 99 years is like definitely not a thing, right? It's definitely not a thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. So let's continue with this.
This made the same videos about me in Israel, Japan, like, and I'm still fine.
The dude claims he's fine, yet this is him right now. As of now, he's a walking case of survivor bias, and it seems like he'll be stuck in Korea for at least the next year. What are you talking about? Still fine. I flew out to cover you being an absolute idiot in court. And yeah, we got some views. Meanwhile, you fly across the world to harass people in public for 40 viewers, and those people want to see you get hurt or arrested. I cover laughably stupid stuff on the internet, so I guess congratulations for being laughably stupid enough times for me to make so many videos on you. But sure, dude, go continue to harass people in Korea and see how that plays out for you in the multiple cases that are coming your way. Because that's exactly what he's planning, even though he has these ongoing trials.
If y'all give me the support and the donations and the love, the power chats, the crypto donation, I'm ready, bro.
What a fucking...
If y'all want chaos, let me be your conduit. Let me be your bastion of the evil. If you want to see anarchy, if you're an anarchist and you want somebody that is going to crash out with no remorse, with no sense of self-worth, with no sense of self-preservation, I will be your man. I'm building up the Johnny Somali pirates.
I mean, this absolute moron just made it extremely clear to the prosecutor and the judge that if he is not locked up, he will continue to harass civilians and businesses on the street for profit. And if that statement isn't bad enough, apparently
so that statement by himself, like that may at the next trial get him detained, right? Now, I'm not saying it's for sure. So right now he's living with Hank. He's out on his own. That is a standard. That is typical. He's not on charges for something violent, which is typically, or drug charges, which is typically why they would kind of put you in prison, but put you in the jail pending the trial. But since he's not in that category of charges, they're not putting him there. But saying he's going to cause chaos, maybe. And certainly if he starts streaming again, who knows? If he goes out on the streets and starts doing more, who knows? So once again, you know, he talks a big talk, but I think he actually, at some part of him, is fearful of actually doing that. As much as he talks a big game, I do think he actually may be scared on some level to do it, but he's got to put up this front now because he's backed himself into a corner, right? He's backed himself into a corner with his audience and with everybody else of acting tough and trying to play this role.
He's itching to crash out.
I'm ready to crash out. Do you know how long it's been since I crashed?
Yeah, Tozy is pissed off. Yes. But I mean, in a righteous indignation way. It's a justified piss off, right? It's justifiably angry.
Out. I'm itching. And you're not gonna understand. ABZ's here. I could take a train to ABZ in 30 minutes right now.
He hasn't done it. He threatened to do it. And I think that's was to get attention, right? So once again, all the stuff that Ramsey says and doesn't do. He threatened to go to this guy. I think he's threatened to pepper spray him. I don't know if they're going to show that here or not, where he says that statement. But he hasn't done any of that, right? So it's all big talk. He's going to confront these people. But truth is, he's scared. He's scared because he knows they'll call the cops on him, most likely, and then he'll probably end up catching more charges.
Shut his shit down. And shut that pepper spray and everything right now.
There you go. Threatening him with pepper spray, literally right in the video, flashing the pepper spray, right, in a menacing way, saying he's going to come after him and pepper spray him, right? That's a threat right there. That's a direct threat. That is a clear and direct threat. In the U.S., you could definitely get a restraining order off of this for sure, 100%.
Pepper spray and everything right now. I can go shut ABZ down right now.
The only thing he's going to do here is rack up more charges. I mean, this is honestly some David Goggins level commitment to being a full-blown moron. This is exactly why you need to love your kids, so they don't end up dedicating their lives to harassing strangers on the street for profit. But he did go on to talk about why he pleaded guilty.
Why I pled guilty 2 days ago or yesterday? It's because, bro, do you think I want to sit in this country any longer? Bro, if they got you for some, bro, I'm telling you, everything I pled guilty yesterday is like $50 fines, $100 fines. Playing music on a bus, spilling a cup of noodles, carrying a, bro, they're trying to charge me for carrying a dead fish and saying, do you want to eat fish? It's in quotations on the indictment. I have the indictment right here. It says you told someone, do you want to eat fish? In what country is that a charge?
When you harass people with anything, it's a charge, right? When you're going up and harassing people repeatedly and making them uncomfortable and, you know, disrupting businesses, that is illegal, right? In many different countries. So yes, you could get trespassed. You could have harassment charges filed against you. There's a lot of stuff that can come with that in any country, in many countries. In fact, in some countries, you know, you harass people and, you know, the justice might just be dealt out immediately, if you know what I'm saying.
But do you think I'm really going to sit there and argue with the judge over $100 fine? I'm guilty, so what? I'll pay it.
$100 fine is a total misnomer. And here's a new piece of information, brand new information. So Ramsey flashed a bunch of papers. And one of the papers that he flashed was, of course, the new charge about the deepfake and the fact that that's going to go to the prosecutors in the Eastern District. So that case will proceed. But beyond that, he also flashed another paper, which was just translated. And the Koreans that have looked at this have now, you know, said, oh, look, there's something else. One of the other papers he flashed says he already owes 1 million won to somebody. Now, it's not clear for what exactly and who exactly, but he clearly already owes, the paper was very clear. He already owes 1 million won. Which at this point, let me do the 1 million won conversion rate. I know the won is not doing too great right now, but that's already, what is that? 689 USD. So almost $700. So he already owes almost $700. There's no $100 fine. And that's before any of this stuff. That's before anything else is hit. So he already owes somebody $700. So pay your $700 to whoever you owe it. He's already been hit with that. That's already there. It's like solid. He owes that. Pay your money, right? He's already got that. And he can't even read these complaints and indictments and charges. Most of them are in Korean. So he doesn't really, and once again, I don't think his public defender is explaining these things to him well, or maybe he's leading them down this path. But it's definitely already beyond $100. So all exaggeration. He already owes that money, guys. Like, that's hilarious. And that only was found out because he was an idiot and he flashed these Korean papers that he has no idea what they say. But guess what? There's Koreans who understand Korean. There's actually foreigners who understand Korean too, right? You don't need to be Korean to understand Korean, but you know, you think, maybe if you know, so many Koreans are watching me right now, maybe one of them will take the time to pause this video and look at the paper and translate what is very clear. One thing I love about Korean is it's very easy to read. It's one of the easiest languages to read out there. In fact, King Sejong, who invented the language, fun fact about Korean, it was one of the manufactured languages insofar as it's one of the newest languages. And it was developed in a very scientific manner so that even illiterate peasants could learn it within 24 hours. You could, you know, be reading Hangul and understand it quickly. In fact, it was so effective that they actually warned him. They're like, King, This is going to allow like peasants and like women and children to read. Are you sure about this? And he's like, yes, we're doing this. Right. It was too effective because back in the day, the royal courts around the world, you kind of wanted the royal court to be educated and to be able to read stuff and regular people to not understand what went on at the highest level. And the language got rid of that, which is why it's a great language, very effective and very easy to learn. For reading, it's one of the easiest languages out there. And I've studied a lot of languages, learned a lot of languages. Compared to a lot of other Asian languages, it is very simple. And it's a great thing about the language. Beautiful language.
I'm out. It's so simple. Yeah, they think this is.
Someone said it in the chat. Yeah, reading is for priests. Yeah, exactly. Right. That was the old thought in other places of the world. I'm gonna get these. There's 2 huge super chats. So I'm gonna get these. Callie's Rabbit dropped 50. He said here's 50 to cover his alleged fine. Per his words, sad this controversy is completely over now. I know it's sad that we've now got enough for his fine here. Thank you so much. Also, thank you so much. Was it Buro? Thank you. My pronunciation sucks, so sorry, my Korean. I could read it easily, but pronounce hard. Thank you for all your efforts. You are the best. Thank you so much, 감사합니다. Thank you so much for that. I deeply appreciate it very much. Kage Kiso for 10 Singaporean dollars says Johnny Somali, aka Ramsey Khalid Ismail, international legal expert. Exactly. So we're going to trust Johnny Somali over Korean lawyers, over the judge, over the bailiff, over his lawyer, over the prosecutor, over my coverage, over everybody else, all the media. He's the one who knows more about the law than all of these people. Sure, Johnny. Sure. Hold on. Johnny thinking he knows more than everybody else about the law is pure.
You are coping the seething.
It's pure cope. It is pure cope. Lin Win says, when you take legal advice from Hanky Poo, you end up in prison with a cellmate who's in for trafficking 30 kilos of meth and has nothing to lose. Odiga! Oh, yes. That's great. So true. Also, Anthony for 10 said, no weapons law are fairly strict. Can he legally have pepper spray? It's probably Hank's. I asked somebody, I think it's legal for Hank to have it. I don't think he could like walk around with it, but that's that would be an issue if he goes out in the street, I think.
The police don't joke. I know in Japan they don't have sarcasm, but really in Korea the police have no sarcasm. The girl told me.
Okay, I've talked about this before. Let me actually be very clear. You should never use sarcasm in a foreign country and with a foreign language ever. As a person who's traveled, I've been to over 120 something countries now. Like sarcasm is something you use in your own language with a highly fluent speaker. Sarcasm deals with a lot of tone, and when you are in a language you don't fully master and you're speaking it with somebody who doesn't know that language, right? Because his English is not even that good anyways, but it's not clear you're being sarcastic. And beyond that, Johnny says a lot of things like he's dead serious, and he says a lot of stuff that's ridiculous like he's serious and thinking he's going to get off. Sarcasm is not to be used in a foreign country with foreign people, especially with police, especially with law enforcement. Can you guys, even in America, if you're in the airport, are you sarcastic with the TSA officers if they ask you if anybody else packed your bag for you? Are you like, oh yeah, Abdullah over there packed my bag and he put something in it that's ticking? Do you make jokes like that? No, you don't, right? Because you're going to get locked up. They're not going to think it's funny. In some countries over here in Asia, there's places that say, if you make any joke about any explosive device, you're going to jail. A joke will send you to jail. You cannot do that. Like, not at all. Hell no, you cannot do that. It just is not okay. Proxy 4818 says, hey Ramsey, since we all know you're watching this, here's another donation for you to cope and see. Thank you so much, appreciate that. Call me K for 999 says, I'm at 47, I'm way too old for this to be entertained by this nonsense. As a Gen Xer, I'm required to celebrate the downfall. Thanks for helping me have a good laugh every day. No, you're welcome. I'm glad you enjoy it. I am going to take a little break tomorrow. I do need a little bit of pause, a little bit of break. So in there, I think I'll caught up on the content, so you guys will be in good hands tomorrow. But for today, we got to get through this. Rixers for 10 says, Ishmael's to take the Vietnamese boat people track and get back to America. I promise it's super easy, fast, and safe. Also, Jesus Davila, thank you for the 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Very based. Thank you. If you received a gift membership from anybody today, please say thank you to them. Fallen Hero, a $3 super sticker. And Star Luchai for 40 Thai bots. Let's try reading in Thai, your worst nightmare. I am learning Thai, but my Thai pronunciation is bad. I can't wait till we have like a Bangkok meetup and my Thai fans come out and they're just like shaking their head. But I do try, and I can like sort of read stuff. So, some basic stuff. Rigo for 10 says it's astounding with the translation features on Google Lens and other operating systems. You can't read these charges to find out how he is. Smooth brain moments. You just hold your phone and you put Google Lens and you figure out about it. He didn't even take the time to do that before he flashed it in front of everybody. It's insane. It's really insane. I've never seen somebody this reckless. Let's continue.
Why did you say you're part of a criminal organization called FT and CX if you're not a part of it? Why did you say that? And I said, you know what I mean? I said, you got to ask them. You got to ask the leaders. They really.
So for reference here, he's making a reference to, he made a TikTok video saying that he is a criminal and he's a member of FT and they're all criminals and wants them all to be arrested. That was because he wanted to try to stop them from essentially having fun without him. He's mad that his friends and his mentor, and we'll see a video of them after this, are out there having fun and they're able to travel freely relatively. Some of them can't go to certain countries because they have criminal charges. But other than those certain countries they can't go to, most of them are relatively free. So they're out there in Korea and he can't join them. They can't even have him on camera. So he's mad about that. He's salty.
They really are onto this. They think it's not a game.
Dude, it's hard to understand sarcasm when there's a language barrier and they're not familiar with you. And being sarcastic to someone who has your freedom in their hands, that's definitely not the bright thing to do.
Whenever they showed me on the camera, when they showed me on the, I'm gonna take the headphones on because you're not even reacting yet. When they put the camera on me, like on that paparazzi, like purple walk they do in Japan, the detective was so angry. He's like, why did you smile at the cameras? Why did you smile at the cameras? In Asia, they really don't like this. It's like a saving face thing. Like, this is like the worst you can do. Like this, they tweak the out.
So why are you doing this again? When, yet again, your freedom is in their hands.
Correct.
You're also providing the prosecutor and the judge with the information that you're extremely aware and intentional with your actions. But I guess this like false sense of security is based on what he found from another case of a woman getting 2 years for obstruction of business for crashing her car into a convenience store.
She drove her car into the convenience store. Took a car and crashed into the convenience store and beat up the convenience worker, destroyed the whole store, like literally attempted murder, bro.
Was not attempted murder. No one was hurt, not at all in that instance. That was 2 years. Yeah, that was 2 years for that. But the situation and circumstances are different. She didn't have all these other charges. She did have other obstruction charges, multiple obstruction charges. But once again, let's think about this real quick, Ramsey. You found a case where somebody got 2 years in jail for obstruction of business. And you're saying there's not possible for you to get obstruction of business and go to jail. But you found a case where someone got 2 years. Let's put 1 + 1 together here. That means that someone saying you're going to get 2 years in jail is reasonable, and you could go to jail for 2 years. And then that's just the obstruction charge. That doesn't include the deep fake. So let's say you go to jail for 2 years for this. Same as her, 2 years, right? Then the deep fake. What are you going to go for that? 3, 5? What is that? Once again, he's not thinking here. He's trying to use this logic like, oh man, it's not going to be 99 years. Nobody said 99 years. Everybody, and myself included, has said 2 years is a win. 1 year is a win. 1 year is a huge win of getting him locked up and also getting that notoriety of him as a felon out there. So he is not allowed to come to other countries and stream. Everybody will know. The whole world will know that this guy is a felon. It will totally destroy his streaming career. He won't be able to come in other countries. They'll be notified. The immigration will be notified, and they will crack down on him hard when he steps foot in their country. And not only that, but it'll disrupt his career. If he's not streaming for a year, he's done. He is completely done. And I think this is, once again, maximum cope and going over the edge. That's what we have today. Donnie, thank you for the 10 legal mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Yes. Piotr, thank you once again. Piotr Suvala given 5 legal mindset memberships, very base. And thank you for your gifts the other day. I remember that on my 200K stream, and all those that were there and gifted. Thank you so much for being there to support and have fun on my 200K celebration stream. It was very fun. Stream of conscious, talk with my friends, my good buddy over there, Josh in Japan. My friend Gator, the VTuber, and my friend Sean, LawTuber. Really good time. King Lugia for one. Thank you so much. Blue Mabu said hello from UK. Ramsey is a car crash TV. It's true. Real quick, Weird Bar Tales says for 10. My grandfather and father, when he was younger, were bilingual in Korean. It was a measure of their skill, and they actually could tell jokes based on implication and wordplay. That is a high level of skill and fluency. A high level of skill and fluency. Linux 5 says this is a free super chat. This free super is sponsored by chat. Thanks for the gifts. Thank you for all the gifters today. Lawrence L also said for 5. I wonder how taxes work. More time in the cabbage field. Yeah, if he's got anything unpaid, any fines, anything else, he has to go work that off. That's the cabbage fields. Also, Asian Dragon says RKI's goal is a slap on the wrist like Japan. It won't happen. Chaos Master 64 said chances Johnny Smalley snaps and says ninja in court a lot. He hasn't, but we're going to pay attention to that. And Renzo, I'll get 2 more and go, says, I wonder how many more F-ups he will do before his lawyer will decide to wave the white flag. The lawyer cannot. Understand your lawyer has a duty to you, a duty of zealous advocacy, which doesn't mean they go crazy. It just means they do the best they can do to the best of their abilities and competence and based on their time. This lawyer has a lot of clients. It's a public defender. He can only do so much. And if Johnny's going to self-sabotage, he can't stop that. He can't. Rebecca Kopp for $4.99 says, do you think he's dumb enough to try and access OSAN? SF would be really ticked about it. He doesn't have to deal with his dumb entitlement. No, he's not going to go to any military base. There's no way. And I think they might even deny him right off the bat if he even tried. It's not going to happen. I know there's people that came up with this theory that he's going to run to a U.S. military base. That won't work. It will not work. Let's continue.
Like, she did this, and she got 2 years. She got 2 years because Korea is a woman in a feminist society. Whatever the feminism buff is, the American passport U.S. citizen buff. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I got the same buff.
He's talking about like it's an RPG, but he doesn't realize he's already lost all his lives, and no one is going to revive him on this one.
The same buff as her.
Honestly, I feel like the American part is kind of a debuff in your situation. Also, I would put my money on that she was respectful and remorseful in court. And
correct. Atozi just nailed it on the head. Atozi just nailed it on the head there. When the woman came to court, like everybody else, she was not late. She was not drunk. She didn't make fun of the judge. She didn't make fun of the bailiff. She didn't say that, all this crazy stuff. She definitely came in and said, I'm sorry. What I did was horrible and reprehensible and terrible. And, I love, all the things that you need to say, right? What has Ramsey done? He said, F this, it's not serious. F the judge, F the bailiff. He's called them racial slurs, right? That's what he decided to do. So think about that for a second.
definitely not showing up late, drunk, and being racist towards the judge and prosecutors. So they are very different cases, and he has multiple charges pending, which stack with each other.
It's like that meme. Nothing ever happens. That's what I'm trying to tell these. Nothing ever happens. I'm telling these to lower their expectations. Yes, you hate me. You don't like me. I don't give a if you like me or not. But don't put this, oh, the karma's going to get him. Some shit's going to get him because you're going to feel left down. You're going to feel let down, bro.
I guess we'll see how that statement ages, but he had a lot.
Yeah. Bold statement, Cotton. We'll see how that plays out. The old dodgeball reference, right? Eagles Talent for 10 says, turning in live for once. Thanks for all the great coverage. My pleasure. My pleasure. Please, we almost have 7,000 people. Please smash the like button if you like this type of coverage. And if you enjoy this, also, this is a Tozi's video. We'll tag him in the video below, in the description below after this. He does great work, and he was very fortunate to meet him out here in Korea.
Lot to say about the creator showing up to the trial, but I'll focus on what was about me.
So the thing is, we just got out of the trial. It went absolutely terrible for Johnny because
absolutely terrible. It was a 5-minute long trial.
10 minutes, but yeah.
They just said, what's your name? What's your address? What's your occupation? Come back April 9th. Don't be late next time.
Okay, well, that's simplifying things a little bit too much. It was a little over 10 minutes. Yeah. And in that short amount of time, you disrespected the judge, the prosecutors, and pled guilty for 3 charges. One of those charges included a felony, and you have more charges coming your way, and seemingly a separate case where you will now be tried as a repeat offender. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't say that went well for you. But in frustration,
Correct.
he then continues to disrespect the judge.
Essentially, he got in trouble for, number one, wearing the hat.
I didn't get in trouble. I don't speak Korean. Said take the hat off. I don't know what these guys are saying. Said take the hat off. I don't know what the. Stop.
You think the judge is not going to see that and judge on it, right? Once again, this racist stuff that's going to get back.
Told me to take the hat off. I took it off. He was carrying a water bottle. Is that a like what? Like, bro, like they take the most little and try to make it like.
That is the thing is, he doesn't realize, like with courtroom procedure, little things are a big deal. In the court, little things are a massive deal, right? The court is one of the most formal areas out there, period, right? It is a big deal. And it's not a little thing.
They told him to take the hat off. Like, well, what? Like, what are you talking about?
How stupid do you have to be? I mean, like, what do you mean talking the most little shit? I went there to report exactly what happened within those closed doors. So I'm walking everyone through from start to finish of what happened in that trial. Does it bother me that he had a water bottle? No, not at all. But at the time of this stream, no one knew exactly what happened in that courtroom except for the people that were inside the courtroom, which is why as soon as the trial was over, I needed to get out of the building so I could go live for you guys. I tried to go live outside the courthouse, but my 4G connection was not good enough. So we then went to the nearby Starbucks and went live.
4 charges against him, but only 3 of them were addressed today.
Okay.
The 4th charge, which he just discovered about,
How did I just discover about it? I can pull out the paper with the date on it that proves and show it to this camera that I knew about every single charge. They just make up. He didn't know. He didn't. No,
he didn't know.
You didn't know.
He didn't have the. No, we knew. We all knew. I literally was the one that dropped it, so of course we knew, right? Like I knew. He flashed this paper pretending that he knew what the charge was. The paper was for the deepfake charge. It wasn't even for the one before that court. That charge for the deepfake isn't even in this court case. It's a whole separate court case. It's a whole separate court case. So he didn't even, that's how dumb he is. He doesn't even understand what's going on. And then he doxed himself by doing that. And, you know, one of the other papers he showed he owes 1 million won. So the only thing he did is self-own in this seething, which is beautiful. It is so beautiful and poetic that the only thing he did by all of this raging and coping is own himself. Insane. American TX, thank you for the 5 legal mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the gifters tonight. I deeply appreciate you. Ultra Fine Point for 20, supporting you from Tennessee. Shout out to my American side folks. Janky Salami belongs under the jailhouse. Get him, legal mindset. Oh, I'm not letting up on this one until he is in the jailhouse.
Dude, we were there. This is why your next hearing is April 9th, because your lawyer needed time to review the new charge before you entered a plea.
He's been playing his cards in the worst way possible.
What worst way? I didn't do anything. Like I haven't played any cards. Like I'm not playing any cards. I'm just waiting for it to be over. But I'm just gonna go. Listen, I'm gonna tell this to these. I'm not locked in Korea. These Koreans are locked in here with me. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. I'm not locked in here. They locked in here with me. I didn't even, bro. If you think I caused chaos when I was going live, like in October and September. Bro, they haven't seen nothing yet.
Dude literally says what cards, and he goes ahead and doubles down and playing the worst hand possible. Like if you are in a trial harassing people in public for profit, and then you go home and announce on your live stream that you're just getting started, what happens to you, man. I mean, you're not giving the judge nor prosecutor any reason to go light on you. It's just not going to help your case at all. I mean, even in the US, that would be a dumb idea, but he's still somehow operating like he's in the US and isn't at the mercy of a foreign court system. But I mean, hey, whatever happens will just likely be jaw-droppingly stupid, and he will just yet again make everything worse for himself.
For 5 minutes. A Tozy flew from America. Imagine, bro, the flight was 12 hours to sit down for 5 minutes.
That's not all he did. And he's going to talk about it. But here's the other thing. That's a business expense for him. And also, you know, he makes videos on this, and he promised his chat that he was going to come out if he hit a certain amount of views, his viewers. And he did it. So he followed it through with his commitments. Unlike Ramsey, who literally lies about everything and follows up with none of his commitments, Atozi actually kept his word. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy that you can keep your word and be an honest content creator, and maybe you get support and love for your audience from that? That's a crazy thing, right? It's insane to actually follow your commitments. I know.
600 times the time. You flew 12, 15 hours for that? That's his clothing. His clothing. Yeah, my God, his suit was too big. He was smiling and then he stopped smiling. This is journalism?
Yeah, you show up and report what happened. That's journalism. And I will be honest, if this trial was in a place that wasn't on my bucket list, I probably wouldn't have gone. But this just gave me a wonderful excuse to go explore Seoul for a couple days. So, I mean, I can't complain at all because I had a great time and some of the best food of my life. Dude, I ate at a Michelin star restaurant and I paid for it both myself and my editor. And what we got was 2 bowls of hand-cut noodles and this like beef broth with beef, and then 2 orders of mandu, which I think are like, it's like
it's a Korean dumpling.
Korean dumplings, essentially.
So that restaurant, by the way, I've been there. It's very good. It's exceptionally good. I highly recommend it. I have the name somewhere, but it is very, very good. Once again, there's lots of reason to come to Seoul independent, right? It's crazy that perhaps people like to come to Korea because of the culture and the food and the amazing things to do, the nightlife, the sights, everything to do, the outdoors. Korea has some amazing stuff to do. And there are millions of people that love to visit Korea every year for those things, myself included. There's a reason why I go back there regularly. There's a reason why I consider it my second home, because it's a great place to be. Even though I'm more full-time down here in Thailand right now, I still spend a lot of time there, probably 3 to 6 months a year. It's a great place to visit and to love, and it's a place I lived full-time for 3.5 years. Many people love Korea and appreciate it, and appreciate the culture, the food, the people, right? Myself included. And Atozi is now one of those people. We totally converted him to a Korea lover. He loved it and totally wants to come back. He had a lot of fun. It was just a great time. We went to the Noraebang. Like, it was a good time. And it just shows how Johnny cannot comprehend goodness. He can only comprehend being annoying for content. That's all he can comprehend, because he's that damaged of a person mentally.
And it was all for like $34. Hands down, top 3 noodle places I've had in my life. And then on top of that, like, the people there are just amazing. I don't understand why someone like him would just show up and disrespect them for profit. Either way, life is good, and I'm just happy I got a reason to go visit South Korea.
Okay, so we have the 2 misdemeanors, which number 1, it was for the fish.
Minor Crimes Act.
The Minor Crimes Act, which are essentially
Minor Crimes Act, misdemeanor. So why don't you tell everybody the max fine is $50, $100 for that? Why don't they tell me? They don't want to tell me the truth. Yeah, about 2 minor crimes.
It's still, once again, that's he's twisting things around here. He's charged with 2 obstruction, which is a felony, right? And then the Minor Crimes Act. Once again, yes, the Minor Crimes Act is less. It's not a felony, right? It's what would be considered a misdemeanor. But the important thing is, all of these things count as crimes. So when they look at his record and they say you have 1, 2, 3, 4 crimes, and then now they're going to get to deep fakes and he's going to have 4 convictions on his record. Yeah, they're going to say, yeah, I think this person needs some serious jail time because they've just been convicted of 4 different crimes. They're going to look at the volume, which matters, right? They're going to look at the spree of criminality, which matters. Even in the sentencing in this case, they're going to say, well, if it was just 1 obstruction of business, maybe we give him a slap on the wrist. But it's not. It's 2, and then 2 other things he's convicted of. So altogether, yeah, we need to give him 2 years, 3 years in jail, 1 year in jail, whatever it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. We need to give him that time in jail. Otherwise, maybe if he had just done 1 of those things, they would have let him off with a fine. That is true. But that's not what happened. And we all know that's not what happened.
$100, $150 for 2. It's like $70 each. Why did they tell us the truth?
Okay. Then once you stack those misdemeanors with the felonies and the amount of time that he's stuck in Korea waiting for his trial, and suddenly he's there for a long time. He's sitting there laughing, but he's the only one here who's being held against his will in Korea.
You have to have some kind of weirdness.
So like Atozi and I, like, we have something that Johnny doesn't have, our freedom. We can get on a plane and come back and forth from Korea as much as we want. I can go to Japan as much as I want. He's banned from Japan, right? I can go there as much as I want. In fact, I'm going to go in Japan for the Osaka Expo, right? There's a World Expo in Osaka. I'm really looking forward to that. Probably go in May now. I'm thinking May. But we can come and go around the world wherever we want, you know, provided we have a visa or can visit on a tourist exemption. We can go wherever we want for you know, whatever time we want, as much as we want. Johnny can't do that. He's stuck literally in Hank's bedroom sniffing his used towels.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, that's where he's stuck. Also, thank you everybody for the support. I see you guys in the chat. Pierto Reale Franca for 10 said, greetings from Brazil. His lawyer probably also hopes he gets the maximum sentence. I can't read his lawyer's mind, but his lawyer's probably not happy with him. Short name Alex, thank you for the 50K dong. And then you also dropped, Johnny, if you're reading this, you aren't invited to Vietnam as well. Sucks because the food here is excellent. Thank you, Legal Mindset, for the coverage. Yeah, I love the banh mi. Love the banh mi. Can Japan request him after jail time in Korea? No, because Japan already made him serve 3 months. His time in Japan is done, and he's banned from Japan until 2029, so he cannot go back. Jersey Girl says South Korea was making an example of him. Absolutely. And then last, we'll read this one. We'll continue. Dupa Dupa says, I think the real villain is Hank. He is a typical human scum of society. Hank has enabled all of this.
Your brain. I'm gonna fly 7,000 miles across the world to watch a 5-minute hearing. They said, "What's your name? What's your address? What's your occupation?" Okay, bye. See you April 9th. Minor tickets, fines. I don't know what these guys gonna be an O.J. Simpson trial.
The dude is just so mad that people showed up and told the world how cooked he seems to be. Like, the only good thing he has going for himself here is at least he's stuck in an awesome country. But a Korean lawyer did also come out and share his opinion that a slap on the wrist is not really in the cards for Johnny here.
So I shared this on X, right? So this is a Korean lawyer's opinion, right? And they said, number one, right, this is going to, obviously, once he's done, he'll be deported, right? Once he serves his time. So this is the part here. This is a Korean lawyer saying this. Kim explained that if the court imposes a prison sentence, he will have to serve his term in a local prison. So this is, once again, people like to say, oh, Andrew, you're not a Korean lawyer. Hear it from a Korean lawyer. He has to go to the local prison first. After he completes his time, then he has to leave the country and is detained in the immigration center until departure. So literally, once he is sentenced to prison, he's going to be broken up from Hanky Poo. They're no longer going to have their midnight sessions, and he's going to be sent directly to prison, and there's going to be no reunion. He's going to go right to the immigration detention center. He's not going to be free, and then he's going to be put on a plane out of there, right? That's the process, right? And look what the lawyer says. Considering the multiple charges against Ishmael and the serious nature of his offenses, it is unlikely he will receive a lighter penalty. So saying that he's going to get a relatively
Johnny
penalty. It won't be $500, right? We're talking thousands at a minimum.
He can just spin it however he wants, but the fact of the matter is he could not return to the U.S. right now, no matter how much he wants to.
You're the one who's gonna look so dumb when I don't get any jail time or anything. Like bro, I'm gonna laugh like a villain. Look, I did go there and recognize all the charges. I said I was guilty. I did say all this because it's just gonna be a fine. What the? I'm just gonna pay it and leave, bro. Like you can't go to jail for this. You can't. Like you literally cannot.
I mean, again, I wouldn't really say that's a good strategy for his trial, but it's not like anything he's done has been a good strategy for his trial. So it's not like too much has changed here. So I guess with some time, we'll find out what actually happens. But if you want to see the full coverage of the trial, you can watch this video right here. And I'll be dropping
So go smash a like button on that. I'll put the link in the description to ToS's video. Really good stuff. Great stuff. Awesome creator. Very happy to meet him. A+ content. He did a really good job of synthesizing that content and putting it together. You know, there's a lot of information on Johnny Somali, and it's a little bit of an information overload. So I do appreciate that he has a really great ability to synthesize that and make it in digestible videos that are in short form. You know, we each have our own strengths. I'm a streamer. He's a kind of package content creator, but he's an excellent content creator and really knows what he's doing, and I'm just glad he was able to share some knowledge with me. Really A+ video. So go smash the like button on that. Once again, I tagged ToS in the description. Go over to his channel, watch both his videos. Good stuff. Let's get some super chats, and then let me show you a little bit. We'll show you a quick clip here of what's going on with Johnny's homies in Korea. Geodaxter Load That Sack says, hey, Legal Mindset, my mom's in the hospital. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's a waiting game, so I'm going to enjoy this stuff. Well, listen, big prayers to your mother. Best wishes to you. You know, it's very difficult time for anybody to deal with anywhere in the world. But I really can understand that. I've had family members that I've been there with. Just understand that you got people behind you, love and appreciate you, and my support is here. And I hope that perhaps in a time of seriousness we can have a little levity and have a little fun on my chat that kind of breaks the cycle. And if you need to reach out, feel free to do that. Sebastian Mueller for 100 Danish krona says roses are red, violets are blue. I got an insanity plea for you. See, you get to see people mind break me with insanity, talking about insanity pleas. What other channel does that? Asian Dragon says, so that means to get to Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, Taiwan, you got to show them social media clips that will cause trouble once they land. Yes. And you've got to call them. You've got to get on the phone. You've got to contact them. Yes, you do have to do that. But social media helps a lot. Lulu says, how would life be for him in prison? I'm not asking about picking cabbage, talking about cellmates, time not working, what he'll eat. The food will not be good. He will get fed, but it will not be like great food. It'll be bland prison food. He'll be in there with mostly Chinese people, but there'll also be a lot of Africans as well, and very few English speakers. So one thing that's going to be really interesting is there won't be that many English speakers. So he's going to be in a place where he's not going to hear the English language a lot. No Name says for 2, Johnny just admitted he's a terrorist. He's done. He's admitted to a lot of things. Det the Goat for 50 Swedish krona says, could the chat show the country flags to show RKI how united the world is? Hail from Sweden. Shout out. Al said, could his actions in other countries come to sentencing? I think I answered this one. The answer is yes. Hello. The Ryu says, only started following the RKI situation because I was seeing it everywhere. How does he get to South Korea in the first place? Tourist visa? He is on a tourist visa, or actually it's not a visa. It's called the visa waiver. So most people, particularly Americans, when you travel, you're actually not receiving a visa. A visa is something you have to apply for. So for example, if I go to Vietnam, I have to apply for a visa. I have to put in an application online and they give you a visa. You print it out and you bring it. That's a visa. A visa used to be a stamp in your passport. What we actually have is visa waivers. So certain countries have come to agreements that you can come and visit without having to apply for a visa or pay for it or anything for a certain period of time. Korea has this in place. You can visit for up to 3 months at a time. You can do that twice a year. So if you leave and come back, you can be there for up to 6 months. It's actually very generous. And we, of course, reciprocate for a lot of these countries. Japan is similar with similar timeframes. So you can actually be in these countries a fairly long time, which is what a lot of streamers bank on. They go there under this waiver. They don't have to apply for anything. They don't pay for anything. And most importantly, they do not go through background checks. For expats like myself and everybody else, we go through extensive background checks in Asia. When I went to Korea the first time, I had to get an apostilled background check from the FBI, making sure you got nothing on your record for all of America, right? And actually, I had to do it again, and this time, because I'm in Thailand as well, I had to get the Royal Thai Police to issue me a background check, which had to be clean. Korea's got to do theirs, and the United States. So, I mean, it's pretty serious. Now, Ramsey Khalid Ismail didn't have to do that. Why is that important? If they did a background check on Ramsey, he would have been banned from Korea, because Korea makes you check normally on their normal form called the KETA, which was waived during this period, but it's still a question they can ask. They check, have you committed a crime in any other country? Any other country. He has in Japan. So he would have had to do that. And if you ran any background check on him, you'd see he had a crime in Japan. He didn't have to do that. He was on their tourist exemption. So that's how these people are slipping through. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, so here you go. In the new Philippines, you have to get an NBI clearance, and you never pass the first screening. Crazy. Going to Phuket. Oh, man, I like PP Islands. I also like, there's an elephant sanctuary there. I really like the elephant sanctuary. Go check that out. R. Jones says, given RKI's actions, what's the probability of him being jailed for at least 2? High. 2 years is that's reasonable. Once again, I try not to guarantee a particular number, but 2 years is reasonable. I'm not saying 99. I'm not saying 50. 2. It's reasonable. It's very reasonable. Taconi for $5.99 says, what if he went on full-on apology, show the time, not stream, give a heartfelt I'm sorry, think he could have gotten away with it? If he did it before the first trial, it's too late now. It's too late. He said too much. It won't be taken seriously. It's too late. He might as well just go full bravado, because he's going to have YouTubers in the next one. There's other YouTubers that have contacted me to be there. He's going to be, watched. People aren't going to believe his shit. And he's already made fun of them and racist to the judge, racist to the bailiff, racist to everybody. You can't put that back in the box. He's already done. Jack Dittman says, starting bid for the bridge. Thank you. Amanda Main for 2 says, if the case If that case, oceanfront property in Arizona is for sale. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got a bridge to sell you. Gary Lee says, I hope the courts in Korea appreciate your help. They do, but I don't need once again, I don't need them to give a thank you to me. I don't need credit. If people want to clip my stuff or use it, do whatever you want. A lot of the mainstream outlets, they'll even use my information and they won't quote me or they won't say it was from me. I don't care. This isn't about me. This is about stopping a nuisance. My goal is to stop this nuisance and to help Korea and the world rid themselves of not just Johnny, but people like Johnny. And if we can do that, that's a win. That's a win to me. I don't need a plaque or a medal or some participation trophy, right? My satisfaction is in stopping this behavior. Michael Rule said, is contempt of court handled differently from South Korean? So contempt of court is very similar to the United States. The judge has wide discretion. Now, it's not something that's common. They don't give it out all the time, but it does happen. Umfi Saga says, it's me, Korean. I hope he doesn't drop the soap. Final Fantasy says, it's a bit redundant since we can hear it in his voice now. Suffer, Johnny. Great work, Legal Mindset team. Thank you. And big shout out to the team that's been helping me, to everybody out there, the doctor and all the others that helped me. There's a lot of people that I can't say their names, but thank you guys for helping me. Downskated said, the thing that probably burns up Salami, he has all this attention and infamy, and he's absolutely flat broke. People aren't giving him money or attention, and he doesn't understand why. He can't make any money off this, really. And these other platforms, Rumble and Party, he's not making any money. He made $30 on a stream, and half of that was spent on alcohol. And he probably is borrowing money from Hank. Osan is one of the most secure military bases, not in a war zone. Most members are not even allowed to bring their families. There's no way he would get on base without being shot at. There you go. American TK, is there any update on Dalgun Yu? Is he in the clear? Does he have charges pending? I don't condone the act, but dude is a hero. Also, we'll get some tteokbokki for me. I will. We have good tteokbokki in Bangkok as well. There's really good Korean restaurants because there's a huge Korean expat community here. Dalgun, I don't want to comment on his case yet because it's still pending. So if I say something, it may mess with it. And because I absolutely want Dalgun to come out on top, I believe he's a hero. I believe he did nothing wrong. In my eyes, I don't want to comment on it yet. When it's concluded, I will tell you all about it. NT170 said, little cabbage boy has so many chances to learn his lesson. Now he's going to be a play toy in prison. What a sad simpleton. It's true. Gamercron for 125 says, been lurking RK's party chat, and all I see is 3 or 4 replying to him. So sad, cabbage boy. Compared to us, we rule. I can't even read all the super chats. I can't even keep up with the chat. There's more people in here that have mentioned the insanity plea than in its entire chat. Seriously. Also, Muindaji says, for the salt. Thank you, Ava, for making that one for me. Chaos Smashes, Andrew Esquire, the cowboy Ronin lawyer. I like the Ronin image. It's very Wild West, and that's why a lot of the Wild West stories can be mirrored to Westerns. In fact, there was that one famous case. Oh God, what was the one? It was a spaghetti Western that was sued by a Japanese film company because they copied the plot to their movie. So it was a Japanese movie and they just made it into a Western. And it fits very well. Dan Skier said for Nungroy, says, you'll stop covering Johnny Somali once he goes to jail. After him, Ice and Crew next. Nana already took a page out of Johnny Somali's book and disrespected statue. Yeah, I don't have that clip pulled up, but a Japanese girl in Korea went to a statue of a little Korean girl. This is a Japanese streamer who's in the IP squad, and she sat there playing with the breasts of a underage girl statue and laughing and cackling and recording it for content. So I don't plan on just focusing on nuisance streamers if they don't commit crimes. If they commit crimes, I'm going to focus on them. I'm going to cover them. If they go to jail, I'll cover it. If they're arrested, I'll cover it. Right. But I don't plan on giving them more attention, because one thing you need to be very careful with these nuisance streamers is they pretty much invented the clip farming mechanism. So you have to deny them that attention pretty much, which is what they want. You have to deny them some attention sometimes and cover it when it makes a difference, when it's going to get them sent to jail, when it's going to get them barred from the country. You speak to the right people. The other thing is that there's a lot of people I can speak to behind the scenes without ever covering it on YouTube that will have a lot more effect than in covering it on YouTube. So let me put it this way. Criminal nuisance streaming is something I want to stop in Asia. And to the extent I can, I'm going to do the best I can to do that. Species 316 gifted 20 legal mindset memberships. Big coat from Ramsey. Thank you. Jose Sepulveda says, greetings from Chile. Thank you for all your work and coverage of the Pequeño Diablo. That's little devil in Spanish. Gracias, muchas gracias. Down there in Chile. Actually, I haven't been to Chile. I need to make a Chile trip. Shout out to Chile bros. Cynic and Chief for 2 said for the salted cabbage. Thank you. Thank you. Chaos Smash says, was it Magnificent 7 or Fistful of Dollars? I think it was Fistful of Dollars. Fistful of Dollars, I think, was a knockoff of a Japanese movie, and they sued and they won and they had to settle. I Hate Yankees for 5 says, would it be worse if Johnny Somali was doing this in Singapore? In Singapore, he would be arrested way earlier and he would get the cane. Okay. And if you haven't seen people getting caned, go look it up. Graham Bradley. And that, by the way, there's a reason why he doesn't do it in those countries, because he knows the punishment will be, there won't be a lag time. And that's not to say Korea, once again, being understanding and accepting is not weakness. It's actually strength. They have such a safe country. Japan, Korea are so safe. It's a high trust society. It's a good thing to be in a high trust society and to be able to live like that. And people like Ramsey ruin it. And that's exactly what I hate, is that this is how a high trust society becomes just a normal trust society. It becomes just like everywhere else in the West or everywhere else. We have to do these things, right? There's places where you can take things and it's on you to pay. So think about that. There's places where you can walk in and you serve yourself and you have to pay. And yeah, you could walk out. I mean, there are CCTVs, you'll get caught, but it's still a high trust society thing. Imagine if people like Ramsey are going around throwing ramen, breaking things, being crazy. You can't have nice things anymore. That's the old saying. This is why we can't have nice things. And I want to see nice things continue to exist in Asia. And I don't want them to go away because of some stupid guy who, has main character syndrome and really malicious intent. Silver for 5 says, Arcade reminds me of Envy from FMA Brotherhood. Oh, that's a deep weeb. I like it. When Roy burns Hughes and Envy says, you'll burn your best friend. Joke is, we're all Ed and see through it. That's right. Graham Bradley says, Arcade's argument is the exact same as Racket's about the law and his behavior. Nobody understands the process but me and says he'll get away with it. Yes, exactly. And just like Racket's, he'll be completely wrong in the end, right? Good old Nick thought that his buddy was going to go to jail forever for stuff, and he ended up getting off with a $50 fine. So there you go. Amanda Marie says 99, and Amanda Main says 99 years and 99 problems, but 99 years, no 99 problems. Yeah, but freedom ain't one. Thank you. Oopa says, gonna make a recap breakdown. Yes, I do clips 24 to 48 hours after it's over. So there will be clips. Nona SOF says for 10, any chance we're going to interview with the people in the legal system involved in the case after it's all done? I doubt it. I understand it's unlikely, and if so, we get their take on the insanity defense. Okay. No insanity defense. That's not happening. It's not happening. But for the prosecutor and the judge, there's no way they'll ever comment. The PD maybe years later, but they can't do it while they're actively representing other comments. And even then, I doubt it. Maybe when they're retired, they'll talk about it. We'll get it in 20 years or so, but not right now. Nacho Bro Ryan says, which live streaming was a criminal act as an enhancement of the charge. I agree with you. Black Diamond for 5 says, this stream alone has made more money than he has done his entire streaming career. Not his entire career. I will say, Johnny, when he does nuisance streaming, he does make a lot of money. But it's more than he's made in the last year for sure. That's absolutely, and that's why he's seething so hard right now. One more, and then we're going to play this video. This is kind of crazy, so hang on. Dalton Wang says, Arcade claims he's fine. Then he claims he's ready to crash out. I'm going insane trying to comprehend this guy. He's inconsistent. He's very inconsistent. So let me play. So this is the group. Let me play with it. This is the group that Johnny wanted to join. So just so you understand, this is the reason why Johnny is so mad right now, because he can't hang out with these guys. This person here is Johnny's literal mentor, his role model, his mentor. He actually taught him like how to hack the algorithm by doing, crazy or offensive things in the country, and how to get those views. So these are the people that he wants to hang out with right now, and that he's very mad that he cannot hang out with, right? He's very salty that he's stuck with Hank and he can't hang out with these people. And I just want to show you the type of stuff they're doing. Now, is this illegal? Probably not. But is it reprehensible and disgusting? Absolutely. Let me play the video here.
I used to jerk off to incest. Bro. No way. That's my sister. You are incest born, bro. I want to eat something right here. You know what I mean? What? Yeah, chicken. Tell her I'm famous. Oh my God. Anya. She was a baddie, John.
Just that like guttural noise, just those like guttural grunts. It's so disgusting. Like just even listening to it makes me sick, right? It's like disgusting just to listen to the voice. It really is. It really truly is. I'm gonna finish this, but it's just nasty. It's hard to listen to it.
The skin goes a long way.
And by the way, just to be clear, see how this is in Korean? The Koreans are aware of this and they're picking up on these people and what they're doing, and they are not happy about it. And they're also not happy that these people are deciding to come during the Johnny Somali trial. They've decided that the best time for them to come and do this skeezy stuff in Korea is during the Johnny Somali trial, right? So they're up on it. This isn't even me. Once again, guys, this is the Koreans, and they're translating a lot of this stuff too. So the word is getting out there in Korea about these nuisance streamers and the problem. And because of that, I do anticipate the laws may change in Korea, Japan, a lot of places because of people like this. Johnny and of course his mentor here.
God damn, they put together gasolina. Give me some of that gasolina.
What's up?
Oh my God, we're not looking. That's a thick
Okay, you just said that. You said that.
I don't even know if my penis would fit in that tight ass. I would cut off some circulation.
Yo, we do something.
You know what I mean? Yeah. God damn. Look at that, bro. The girls dress like that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like little lollipops and shit. If you get one, that's like, God damn. Willy Wonka on this dick.
See, this is the type of content that he wanted to be out there doing. That's what Johnny wants to be out there doing. It's once again, it's pretty disgusting. It's pretty vile. Is it necessarily criminal? Probably not. But still, this is what Johnny wants to be out there doing. It's not like he's going out there to save the children and the puppies and go explore Korean culture. They want to go out there, harass people, make rude, lewd comments, say nasty things to people, just be absolutely disgusting, right? That's the environment that he wants to put himself in. It's really sad, and it's really sad that people, financially support financially support these people and what they're doing, and it promotes the absolute bottom feeder behavior. Raider Storm says, what I'm hearing is RK is unreliable narrator. Exactly. Jose Sepulveda, thank you, gracias, for the 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you. And Brando Abroad gifted one. Thank you to all the gifts today. Thank you. Go Fast Now says for 10. RK is like a soft sit. He doesn't use the standard script, but he does believe he's a special kind of citizen who can't be arrested. That's right. He thinks Americans can't be arrested. R says for 10, discovered your page to Somali. Now I spend my Saturday mornings drinking coffee, getting updates from you. Not all that bad. Well, I'm glad that it brought good people to my channel. I don't always cover Somalia. I cover a lot of other legal issues. You won't be interested in all of them, but I'm glad you're here for this coverage, and thank you for being here. Welcome. Mercenary says I lost IQ points listening to that. That is true. We'll get these super chats. TMB says, oops, we'll be longer now. Okay. Rayobi said, is Ramsey talking to his chat or his pimp? His chat or Discord? Because it sounds like he's trying to glaze himself of how much long FTs he can take the front and the back. Oh no. Sailor Moon says for 5, Every time we watch a new clip of this guy doing something, I can feel my brain cringing. It's super cringe. It's honestly painful to watch this. Even watching actual criminal cases in America is less cringe-inducing than watching Ramsey. I've watched people, like self-defense scenarios, shootings. There's murder footage that went on. We watched the Sarah Boone case where a guy suffocated in a suitcase. I mean, which was, of course, very depressing and sad. But this is cringe, in a different way. Obviously, that's horrible, and that's horrible stuff. And obviously, murder is bad. But this is cringe-inducing insofar as it's so much behavior. There's so much that he does. The Sarah Boone trial was crazy. Yeah. But like, it's not just one thing. It's a pattern of behavior over time, right? Someone can be drunk and make a horrible mistake or do something crazy, and it's one period of their life. This is how he lives every day. He lives like this, which is why I think, like someone says in the chat, he's cooked. Lulu says, do you think he misses America? I know he's afraid of being charged, but essentially being alone, away from family and friends for months, to be painful. No, I think that, I think he's scared, but I think he won't admit that he's afraid. He certainly probably is afraid. But once again, I think his family and friends, especially the older ones, disowned him. I have messages from people that knew him back when he was in the US or when he was visiting Colombia or other countries, and they liked him. I have messages from people that liked him. They now send me super chats saying, I can't believe it. This is disgusting. And I totally hate what he's doing right now. And this is not the person I met 4 or 5 years ago. I'm sure his mom thinks that way. Imagine your mom watching that, and your mom watching you devolve into this figure that everybody hates. Sad. It's just sad. Let's see. Kathy Swamp Queen says, can Johnny Smalley's public defender plead insanity? I wish. That'd be funny. Mercery says, no, stop. It's cabbage time. Dupa Dupa for 5 says, Johnny already went to the court more times than most Koreans so far. That's a record. Exactly. And he's not done. It's just starting. Asian Dragon says, if it's true the pepper spray belongs to Hank, Andrew's insanity plea lore, you're going to have self-defense lore. There's no thing as self-defense. It's true. In Korea, there's no such thing as self-defense. Vinny TV Adventures says, Somali will not survive one day in the Netherlands. That's why he won't go there. AJ Starhiker says, Star Wars Holiday Special. It's better than Noose's streamers. No. Cool Korean for 5. Thank you so much. Big
emotional damage
for 152 new members today. Thank you so much, everybody who gifted today. He is definitely hurting today. Nagoya John for $6.99 Canadian says, Johnny Somali will ultimately be stuck in the U.S. Hank can't go to the U.S. Oh, what a tragic love story. It's true, because he's going to get deported, and the only place for Hank to see him is going to be, nowhere. Because Johnny is definitely not getting into China. And we already saw from my clip, you guys can watch that, the Chinese hate Johnny. So he's not going to come live in the CCP with Hank, Mr. Freedom Lover Hank. Dark Sky Maiden says, I'm autistic and I don't understand Ramsey's behavior. Man, doesn't matter what you are. Nobody understands it. Mascow says his brain is already dead from the trials. He's broken. And that's why this is maximum cope. That's why it's titled this maximum cope. He has nothing to say, but I'm the only one telling the truth and everybody else is lying. And that is the definition of the maximum amount of cope you can ever have, is when everybody else is a liar and you are the only source of truth. Whenever I see any content creator say that, and I've covered a lot on the internet, a lot, whenever you get there, that's when they're coping. And that's when they're seething. Is when you see them saying, everybody else is lying and I am the only one telling the truth. You can only get the information from me, right? I mean, that's literally Big Brother, 1984, right? It's like the one source of information. And if you're using Somali as your source of information, God help your soul. Mercery says, dances as MC Hammer. Cabbage time. That could be good. If you make that video, I will make it as a clip. TMB for $6.99 says, twist facts and logic in favor of reality, your apparel. No good comes of that. Exactly. Silbury says, Ramsey is correct. Nothing ever happens. Him going to prison isn't really anything but entertainment at work for me. He's not a drug dealer. No, he thinks that he's this international, famous supervillain. Nobody gives a shit about you, Ramsey. And that's perhaps the worst thing. When you go to jail, people will celebrate, but then they're going to forget about you. You will become nothing. You'll become that dude who went to jail, who everybody hated, who united Asia, who united expats, united people around the world. And then you went to jail and you withered into nothing. Cool Korean gifted 10 legal mindset memberships. Yes. Pirate Yedelov says, love your content, legal. Thank you for coverage. Johnny is not welcome in Kazakhstan. Oh, he wouldn't last in Kazakhstan. I know some Kazakhs. Yeah, they wouldn't put up with that shit. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Pietro Rale Franca for 10 Romanian says, don't worry about the surnames. They're difficult. I tried. I never participated in any YouTube live before. I'm happy to get to know your awesome community. The subject is serious, but I had a lot of fun. Thank you. I'm glad you came here. Thank you so much for the support and welcome. I have a good community. I'm only a couple rules. No spam, no attacking people, no bad YouTube terms, right? No doxing, no anything like that in the chat. But other than that, have fun. Enjoy. Rez says Cadia stands for the cabbages. We have a lot of Warhammer 40K nerds, and I love that about my fan base and community. It's great. Ryobi says, oh man, imagine if Arkai met Sarah Boone. They are both classic denial, narcissism, main character syndrome, both of them. Luke says, is Ramsey a U.S. citizen? Yes. I think he was born here. So I believe so. He was born there. His parents were not, they were naturalized. None in particular for two says helicopter. Bellinor for 50 Swedish krona says he's going to be put in a cell together with Bowling Ball Bag Bob. If Bowling Ball Bag Bob is Chinese, then yes. Michael Rule for $5.99 says, why would the judge be frustrated why would you make the judge frustrated in the first place? Exactly. Why piss the judge off even in the smallest way? Why would you do that? Do you think it's going to go any better for you to do that? What are you going to get? You can't record in the courtroom. What are you going to get? Clout? What are you going to get? Me making fun of you? How has that helped you? That's helped me. Thank you for helping me by being a dumbass in the court, right? You did nothing but help me, Johnny. When I was smiling, when you did that, when he was looking at me and sticking his tongue out and I smiled, it was because I knew he was screwed because everyone was watching him. Everyone was watching him. Jose Sepulveda said, you are not the joke. You are not the joke, Johnny. You are the joked. Damn right. Batmobile for 50,000 dongs. So seriously, I am cringe when listening to the way he talks like a 5-year-old American adult making a tantrum. His English is very questionable, certainly. Stephen Campbell for 5 says the Johnny Somali case makes me a bit optimistic. I agree too. I'm very optimistic because seeing so many decent autists who, I don't know, love the law and love being respectful to people. It's cool. Yeah. And once again, people like to think I use that term sometimes like internet autism. That is an absolute compliment. And we all have our things we fixate on. I have things I fixate on too. I have things I'm a super dork on and a super nerd, right? And I love anime. I love a lot of things. Manhwa. I love a lot of stuff, right? And it's great when we all come together with things we're good at. I'm good at presenting information. I'm not always good at synthesizing it. I'm not always good at summarizing it. I'm not always good at going through fine details. I don't understand Korean fluently, but other people do. And coming together with people that are good at all these other things as a team is what we've done with the Somali conviction team, the SCT, the international band of people that I talk to on a regular basis that are convicted to putting Somali away, some of which that went to the trial, but there's others that you will probably never hear about that have worked very hard to put this guy behind bars. And it is my honor to have worked with these people to get this guy in trouble. Virgos for 5 says, inner chat, hit the like button. It is the way. EDMG says he doxed himself just to say, no, you. Exactly. He doxed himself and he showed a fine that he has to pay for 1 million won and an extra charge, the deepfake charge. He only owned himself by showing those papers. And that was all bravado trying to say, I have the papers you don't. Don't worry, Ramsey. I know what papers you have. There's a reason why I'm announcing stuff before you know about it, buddy. C# for 5 says, tell RKI he needs to get out of Korea. The Polynesians have proven you can cross the Pacific in a catamaran. I would not advise that. Ultrafine Point for 5 says, is this dipshit seriously using a Watchmen quote? You ain't Rorschach, buddy. That's exactly right. He ain't Rorschach. He's not even the B-rate villain. D-rate villain, not even. Siddharth Luchai for 40. CC says, self-owned, self-teabag, self-cabbage picking. You're damn right. Glacial Sprite for a month says, he's so stupid, he cannot fathom why he's like this. I think he knows why he's doing it. He's doing it for clout and attention. He said it. He said, I'm doing this for clout. I'm doing this for money. but he's not making any money, and the clout is only hurting him. It's negative clout. There's a point at which it doesn't help you. Asian Dragon says clout equals court evidence. Exactly. Species 316 says it wouldn't surprise me if RKI went to Kurisanji and started VTubing with Uki. How cringe would that be? Insane. If he becomes a VTuber, that would be pretty hilarious. And he would, of course, join a certain black company, of course. Kage Kiso for 10 Singapore says, as much as it'd be interesting to see them attempt to go to China, I reckon it would not be very entertaining as they would immediately disappear. Yeah. We all know what would happen. China doesn't have a problem with random people showing up inside its borders. And so to think that any of those neighboring countries, where else? Taiwan? So he's going to cross through this, he's going to go hundreds of, he's going to go thousands of miles to Taiwan on a boat? Because I guess he hasn't been banned in Taiwan. So Taiwan is the closest place he could go by boat that he might have a shot. He's going to cross those waters? Seriously? Yeah, no. Joseph Bacon for 5 says, would it be appropriate if Johnny was sentenced picking cabbage on St. Patrick's Day? That would be karmic. Gamercrom 09 says, we welcome nuisance streamers here in the Philippines. We have big sacks of rice and a big ass river to throw them into. Stephen Campbell said, all he did was own himself. Insane, said Legal Mindset. I'm just going to leave that there. Interesting word choice. Oh, you guys with the insanity, please.
Oh, hell no.
Talking about insane. Ivanson Nightfall for 50 said, can you show mercy upon those that are eating? Also, do you know of anyone covering the legal aspects of Doge without heavy bias? No, I haven't been following. You'd have to look at other law tubers. I mean, there's others covering it. Just look at them. There's some pretty neutral law tubers out there. So just search around. But I'm sorry if you were eating today. Shory Skies, my guy, says, what happened to Gino? Gino is hiding and he's also distanced himself from Johnny. So that's happened as well. Mercenary says, Johnny, no, don't take away my hanky poo. I need my hanky. He's my gentle big Bubba. He is gentle. Big Bubba is not gentle. Jopie for 50 says, I think with today's weather, the ground being what it is and the sun shining in the sky and the moon doing what it is, he should try an insanity plea.
No. Wait.
You guys are going to kill me with that insanity plea stuff. 3D Factor for 5 says, doesn't the U.S. have a certain stance against foreign countries jailing its citizens? Also, great coverage, better than any TV slot. No, this is a misnomer. The U.S. does not have any sort of stance. There are many Americans locked up abroad. In fact, there's a show, Locked Up Abroad. You should watch it. There's many Americans locked up abroad, especially for these type of charges. If this was something that was political in nature, yes, the U.S. might take a stance on it. It is not. This is not him standing up for American freedom, or he was not there like teaching infants to read in the Congo and he got arrested. This is not... Johnny Somali is not a sympathetic case to anybody anywhere in the world, and it's not political for anybody. The use of the MAGA hat is merely something to try to piss people off because that's just what he tries to do. He imagines that it'll piss off a certain type of person. He's not MAGA, he's not left, he's not right. He does whatever he thinks will piss people off. I am Kaushnik says for 100, have you ever defended someone like Somali or someone similar who's worse since you're a lawyer? No. Luckily, I've mostly done corporate law, real estate, corporate law. So if you consider corporations as quote unquote evil, then okay. But I necessarily don't. Mostly what I did was in that realm. So I've never had somebody that was truly evil. Although I will say, without disclosing any of my clients, some of them were interesting people, and some of the money, I'm kind of curious where they got the money. But certainly no one that's been like Johnny. Tatsumi said the bridge will be a great fit with my beachfront property in Kentucky. Thank you. Draken for 5 says, greetings from Udon Thani. Oh yes, what up over there. I hope that the no nonsense streams are getting to an end, and thank you for everything you're doing against that. Also, F you salami. Thank you so much. Oh, enjoy Isan. Great food. Great food. Get some somtam and maybe some lab. I like lab out there. Isan food. It's good stuff. Money for 5 says, if Johnny Somali decided what to do when he's in Singapore, he is going to be the next Michael Fay. Look it up. Oh, I know about Michael Fay. LJ Rourke for 5 says, I can't stay in RKI, so whenever he's on screen, I just read a manhwa until Legal Mindset starts to give the breakdown of the law. Thank you, LJ. And I understand. Manhwa's great. Manhwa's very based. Devil's Advocate says, I can smell the STIs of the guys through the screen. Oh, no. Miffy for 50 Danish Krona says, why does Ramsey all of a sudden sound like Destiny with his mindset about him being right about everything? Love your content. This is what I'm talking about, guys. When you cover internet content creators, you see stuff like this. The clout you get and the main character you think you are goes to your head. And I can even say this myself. When I'm winning, you do feel pretty invincible, but you need to keep yourself grounded and have real friends and real people, especially non-content creators that are in your life that are telling you, hey, like you need to focus on XYZ, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's good. I love those people. I love unplugging and going away. Tomorrow, I'm not streaming. I may have some clips up, some other stuff, shout out to my Clipper Eagle, maybe there'll be some other videos, but no live tomorrow. I'm taking a break. You need to step away from it. You need to not get high on your own supply. It's very important. People like Destiny, people like Nick Rekieta, people like Johnny Somali, they get in trouble because they think they're invincible because they feel the power of clout and attention. And when all that attention's on you and you're the most important person in the world, you feel invincible. But it's all a facade. It's all fake. It's not real. And you don't have any real protection like that. He thinks he's this bulletproof, guy. He's not. He's full of holes. Shadow Fox for 10 says, but insanity plea makes so much sense. Would a sane person be in this kind of position? Oh, Shadow Fox. Big Buddhist says, RK doesn't know. Denial is not just a river in Egypt, which is ironically another place he'd probably be too scared to go. He'd never go to Egypt. He won't go to India. He won't go to, I think he said he would go, but he's not going to India. He's not going anywhere in the Middle East, not going to Africa. He's not going to most of South America and doing this. He'll go there without the camera, but he won't film. He won't film. Dr. Paradox for 2 says, talk about insane. So he's pleading insanity. Dr. Melancholy for 5 says, imagine if he went to Thailand with his mouth and attitude. His friend Gino almost went there and got clocked. They don't play. His friend Gino almost ended up dead, frankly, for what he did in Thailand. He disrespected some people on the street that were some Thai individuals, and they didn't put up with his shit. They called him out, and he almost ended up in a klong, right? If you guys know a little bit of Thai, there's a lot of canals, right? Don't mess around. Don't mess around. Don't fuck around. Respect these countries when you come here. Whether it's Japan, Korea, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Brazil, wherever you're at, respect the countries. When you travel, respect it. You'll be fine. These countries are safe. They're very safe, but respect the country. Moksha for 50,000 Indonesian rupiah says, shame if South Korea doesn't cane like Singapore. I know. Brian says, I'm worried one guy might up his antics. If this is not handled correctly, there will be another Somali and there will be somebody that tries to do it. That is absolutely true. You are 100% right about that. That's why this case is important as precedent to stop it. That's why the professor in Korea said this. If this is not done, there will be a worse than Somali person because they will view it as just not a problem. They'll look at how much they make on their streams and they make way, way, way more than enough to pay for a $1,000 or $2,000 fine. That's fine. They'll just pay for that out of what they made. A lot of the nuisance streamers do make more than that over the course of a month streaming in a country. They'll make a couple $1,000s at least, right? So if you're just making it a small fine, that's not enough. That's not enough. And one great thing about South Korea is they've effectively jailed him already for what? About 8 months now? A little bit more, maybe, plus or minus. Well, let's call it 6. Let's call it 6, right? He's been locked up for 6 months, essentially, because he hasn't been able to leave the country. He's had to pay for his own food. He can't really do anything. He doesn't have a real job there. He's been kicked off the streaming platform. So he's pretty much been locked up for that long. Think about that. He's having a snuggle with Hank. Burnt Troll for 10 says, I didn't know what Korean writing was easy. I didn't know the Korean writing was easy to learn. I might learn it so I can read the raws. Yeah, no, I would recommend if you want to take the time. Now, I will say this. Korean, in my opinion, the spoken language is difficult because the pronunciation is different. So I often struggle with the pronunciation. You can see me struggling to read it, but I understand what each symbol means, right? But the pronunciation, the synthesis of that can be difficult. So the speaking part for Westerners can be difficult, but the reading itself, just like reading the word, right? And if you literally translate it, you can get that pretty easily. So I don't want to promise you're going to be fluent in Korean in like 10 minutes. It's not that easy. But it is easier to learn as a written language. That is true. Asian Dragon 456 for 10 says, I can't stand Johnny Somali or nuisance streamers whenever I watch clips. If there's no justice system, Andrew, I would take them down. But I know it's a good idea, but for the normal people of the community. Yeah, look, listen, I know a lot of people will go vigilante on this. Of course, we can't advocate for that on any social media platform, but I understand why people do it, right? Because they're pushed in this scenario where the legal system isn't taking action and they feel the need to take action. And that's not a good place to be, but there are people willing to take action, like Dalgun. Dalgun took action because the legal system wasn't really doing anything at that point. Jopie 1992 says, I think if the streamer platforms would properly regulate content across all platforms at all times, then the illusion of being immune wouldn't be so prevalent. Big streamers get away with too much. It's not just big streamers, small streamers do get away with stuff, especially if they align with the goals of the platform. So certain platforms like the nuisance streamers and want them to do these things because they get attention. So they allow them to break TOS and do certain things that you shouldn't be able to do, which are illegal. Flora Nova for 10. Thank you so much. Hackfish WS for 10 pounds says, it was a fistful of dollars starring Clint Eastwood in his breakout role, directed by Sergio Leone. Yes, Leone. Leone copied Yojimbo. Yes, Yojimbo. Fistful of Dollars was a copy of Yojimbo and had to pay royalties. Thank you so much for the facts. I love it that we have like the film otakus that are going in there. I remembered this, but I didn't remember the name. So thank you for that. Also, Legal Mindset, Insanity Plea. Just kidding. Keep being awesome. You know what? Just for that, I'll play this one again. Onage says there was another day when you said that Johnny was smarter than the average person. What do you mean? He on paper. I have had people who know him, and he is not dumb in the sense of like low IQ. He's actually like above average, but it's a danger when you're like an above average midwit, what I would call a midwit. Those are actually very dangerous because you're not some super genius, right? But you think you're smarter than the average bear. So you're slightly above the average IQ. It's dangerous because you think you're going to get away with murder because you're like, oh, well, I wouldn't fall for that because I would do XYZ, right? Oh, that's a stupid criminal because they're doing the XYZ. I'm going to do XYZ and get away with it. He thought he was going to get away with it because he thought he was smarter than everybody. He thought he was smarter than the whole country of Korea, thought he was smarter than Japan. He's not. He's not. He got cocky, and that's when you get cocky and you get caught. Asian Dragon says, I meant to add not a good idea. Yes, not a good idea. Can't smash as me, Insanity. Andrew, Bankai. yes. Hard ban. Don Pedex says, you're right for 5, says, you're right about Johnny's no political affiliation. I remember when he was called a conservative and he denounced picking Trump. Can't remember when. Yeah, no, he doesn't care about any of that. He just wants to piss people off. If he said he would support Joseph Stalin and Adolf Hitler in the same breath because it pisses people off. Like, he does not care, right? He's praising the CCP. He's praising Kim Jong-un. Let me say that again. He's praising Kim Jong-un. Does anybody take him seriously that he actually, is homies with Kim Jong-un? No, of course not, right? He's not actually a North Korean agent. He just plays the music to piss people off. It's still a crime to play the music and the propaganda, but of course he's not an actual agent. He's just doing it for the trolling, for the memes, and to make people mad. French Toastman for 5 says, trying to keep this as neutral as possible. It worked for the Tates. What are the possible he appeals to Trump and Trump demands South Korea? How is it even remotely similar? And I'm not going to get into the what happened or not happened or the whole fucking litigate the Tate stuff because that's a whole fucking separate can of worms. He's not Andrew Tate. This is not anything about being whatever, like, this is Europe coming back to America and you're trying to beat certain charges. No, he's not that notoriety. He's not that level. There's not the same politicization of it, regardless of whether you agree with it or not, because that's a political, you say you're trying to be non-political, but it's inherently a political thing. This isn't political, right? It's not. It simply is not. There's no bending this in any way. Everybody dislikes this person, right? Versus, I'll just say this. Like it or not, there are people who like the Tates. Whether you hate them or like them, you'd have to admit that's fact. He has a lot of fans, right? There's no Johnny Somali fans. Literally, guys, they have 30 people in the chat. There's nobody who supports them. Asian Dragon 456 says, I want to ask a question about the Wailing Wall. Who are the people he put inside? I've never heard of them. How does that apply to anti-Semitism? Oh, well, let me show you who he put in the Wailing Wall. He put 3 people, one of which I'm not going to show because he's just a streamer. But he put 3 specific people in the Wailing Wall. One is this man right here, Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein was the genesis for Me Too. Harvey Weinstein for years, allegedly, and from what I've heard, once again, he's convicted. So, it's beyond allegedly. He would operate in Hollywood, and essentially female people were female actresses were required to perform sexual favors for him in order to get access to the industry. Right? Yeah, he was convicted, so it's no longer allegations. It's a conviction, right? So a very disgusting person who was operating in Hollywood for a long time. He also put another person who you may recognize, who I'm probably going to get in trouble and demonetized for this, but Jeffrey Epstein. And just mentioning this guy's name on a stream will get your stream demonetized. So guys, please smash the like button and please share this out or leave a comment. I'm gonna suddenly lose like half my viewers because I just mentioned the name. It's like Voldemort, you don't say it. But Harvey Weinstein, if you didn't know, was on trial for essentially trafficking humans, trafficking underage prostitutes into his island, where people would fly in, famous and rich people from around the world would fly in to have sex with underage children. And these were rich and famous people. And he was in jail waiting his trial in New York. And all of a sudden, he committed suicide when the cameras were off and when the guards weren't looking. And, that just happened, right? And there's a list of his clients, which has never come out to this day, right? Which was promised and never came out, which is very interesting as well. He put them in the Wailing Wall. That is the holiest site in Israel, because they, have a Jewish background. And that obviously he was caught doing that. Extraordinarily offensive, very sacrilegious. Yeah. No, I think it was Weinstein and Epstein and Aiden Ross as well. It was, I think, all of them. Yeah, Aiden Ross is the last one. So yeah. Scott Westbrook gifted 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much for that. Yes. Rico Schmidt says, Grüß und congratulations on 200k Mitglieder auf deinen Kanal. Or shouldn't it be channel or canal? Oh, interesting. Greetings from Germany to all the Legal Mindset fans. Go and get this thing. Vielen Dank over there in Deutschland. Vieles Liebe. I really like my people out there. My German is rusty as hell right now. I learned my first language I learned other than Spanish, because obviously I grew up in Miami, so I can order my pastelito y café con leche con azúcar. I can order still in Spanish fluently and all that stuff. But my first language of choice was German, because I had an Austrian exchange student girlfriend. But I realized everybody in Germany and Austria and Switzerland spoke really great English. So as a second language, it was kind of silly. But it's still in my mind. But much love over there might be my European homies. Jopi 1992 said, oh, well, the small streamers too then. The point of it is that they let the streamers get away with too much because they're sources of content. So the illusion starts from there. No, listen, it is the countries don't let them get away with it because the countries aren't letting them get away with it. The countries don't know it's going on. They have to be informed. They have to be told. If you're talking about the platforms, yes, the platforms, and I don't want to name names here, but the platforms that have these nuisance content creators on them, they know they will make money off of them. That's what they care about. They're businesses. They want to make money. And they're going to get away with it because it's going to be a while before anybody sues them. Richard Cummings says, IQ has little impact on common sense. That's exactly right. Asian Dragon says, oh, no, I got that one already. And then says, after you answer my question about O.J. Simpson's case, yeah, he had a jury. Well, Johnny Somali, the judge is your jury. So Nelson Muntz. Yeah, this is in Korea. You rarely have a jury. You can request it. But for a trial of his size for those charges, they're not going to give him a jury. So he is not entitled to a jury. He's not important enough. He's a little nothing. He's a little shit. Michael Rule for $5.99 says, Rotten Mango did an interesting video on Harvey Weinstein. Check it out. She's done some good videos. Good videos. Adjusted a Johnny Somali video, which is excellent. So I do recommend her content for some of these documentaries. And thank you everybody for everything and all the support today and all the messages. It's been absolutely amazing. All right. That's what we have for today. We've had 2 hours and 30 minutes. I told my buddy, I'm like, I think I'll do a stream for an hour and a half. Of course, 2 hours and 30 minutes later. But it's been great, guys. Of course, I'm going to stay on this case all the way through till from beginning to end. Thank you for being here. Thank you for checking it out. And I will be back probably Monday. Might be a members only stream. May not be about Johnny Somali. Tomorrow's going to be a break. Until then, guys, take care. Stay based. And remember that Johnny is doing nothing but...
You are coping the ceiling. You just can't believe what you're seeing. It's you coping the deceiving, the truth it is all day. And now you want more.